Right. Last we left off, you set off to kill a dragon after being technically legally forced to as prisoners under special circumstances or some other law I wrote. Um, Left traveled for a good number of weeks to the Shard Mountains, where Jana, with some very good survival checks and hunter's mark, uh, skipped like half of the journey through the mountains. And also just, generally overall tracked the dragon to its lair, a fairly tallish mountain that seems to have just had little bits of critters and treasure just stuck into the sides, maybe as a warning, maybe as a scare tactic, who knows. Too late to tell now. Climbing it, circumventing all the natural little obstacles, and at the top where you plummeted like 1,020 feet and found a group of imprisoned Yeti there, kept in line by, weirdly, a small gaggle of kobolds. Kolo, one of the Elder Frost Yeti there, fairly tall, stood up straight, had a glaive made of ice, had that very familiar swirly blue paint like you found on the other Yetis in that dead camp you passed on the way here. With some careful wording and just generally appealing to the right things, Kolo decided to, fuck the dragon. Let's go kill it. Circumventing the rest of the dungeon, pretty much. You jump down and you kill the dragon. Kolo took his kids and dipped after that, leaving you with a dead dragon that you turned into a house. Some of the ice sort of building on top of the dragon, almost in the shape of like a shell, kind of like it's spiral shaped. And deciding what to do, it crouches down and mechanical ice stairs sort of unfurl itself on either side of it, allowing you up if you want, or you can figure out how to crack the rest of the 20-foot thick ice you still have left to get to the actual dragon's hoard. That is where we left off. So, what do you want to do?
I want to bonk the ice.
Okay, you hit the ice as hard as you can. Just make a athletics check for me.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you hit it a couple times. It's very solid. Like you are making a little dents into it, like you're chipping small little flakes off of it. With a couple, I don't know, 2 weeks of that, you can probably get to like a piece of it, of the hoard.
Is the ice weakest where Ratavi, like where he was killed? Like, is there like an actual crater in it?
There's a set of cracks that sort of radiate out from where Ratavi dropped from the ceiling onto the ice. It didn't like crack all the way into the ice though. It just sort of made these like ripples across the surface.
That might be a good place to start. How sorry, real quick. How big was Kolo in relation to Ratavi?
Kolo was, in terms of height, probably about the like same size if Ratavi was like stood on all fours. But like in terms of length and everything, like way bigger. Not like this super like a huge amount bigger, but like it's still an ancient white dragon compared to like the fairly tall humanoid person. So
I'm gonna. Can I try delayed blast fireball?
Okay, where are you putting it?
I'm gonna put it like probably where my fireball was, the token around there somewhere.
Okay.
Sphere where it was.
Yeah, you just got delayed blast fireball. You just really wanted itching to get that out now. What's the radius around this fireball?
It's like 20 feet.
Okay,
I
so
think.
like same as a normal fireball. Okay. All right. So as while sort of just sitting around trying to figure out the weaknesses, you watch Chris sort of just chip away at some of the ice, and then he just looks over to that flaming sphere over there, and then he just launches a very small, like, orange bead from the wand just over there, sort of hits the ground like a marble, just stays there for a little bit. What's the rest of you guys doing?
So, question.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, give me 1 minute. I just ate a bunch of, like, spicy buffalo things really fast. Oh, and it just hit me. Okay, we're fine. We will live. So I should have asked you before this, so I just made a spell that I previously prepared, a ranger spell. Can I move the little dot next to it to something else? Or no, until I do a long rest?
We'll say normally you're not allowed to, but fuck it.
Yeah.
If you want to.
And then my idea is I want to prepare, create, or destroy water, and ice is water, right?
Mm.
Let's see what I don't know a lot about the spells. Figure it out.
And
I know control
cast it
water
really
doesn't
high.
allow me to use ice.
I don't see anything about it. But this feels like a GM call of, like, I don't think it's explicit, but it also I'll let you decide if this counts or not.
Destroy thing out of water in an open container within range. Alternatively, you can destroy a fog in a 30-foot cube. You know, if they allow fog as this, I'll allow ice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So I'd like to cast this at 5th level, I guess, because I got 1 5th level spot. Right? Is that what I see? Is that because I leveled up?
It does, yeah. So this is you got a 5th level slots. Start to the size of cube increased by 5 feet. I'll say fog's pretty amorphous. I'll say you can destroy like I'll just add this in now. Yeah, destroy like I don't know, 10-foot cube of ice at level 1. So I'm sort of bullshitting that, but let's go for that now. If it comes to level 5, that is what, an additional 5 foot each. So 25 foot cube of just destroyed ice.
And then my other question for you is, this have to be, like, outwards? Can it not go, like, downward? Like, I just want to go really, like, 25 cubes down?
Yeah, you just Minecraft it pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you Minecrafting it, I should say?
Probably where that ice is already kind of broken from before, like
Okay.
where it seems like the shattering, the he landed.
Okay, so around where Ritabe is currently, actually. Okay. So that's 25-foot cube, which is just like that. As you cast that spell, what does it look like?
The spell?
Yeah. Describe it to me. What flavor? What stain?
This would be so much more fun. Well, maybe it'll be fun to do the reverse. Or what is this? Let me read it.
Ritabe definitely moves out of the way as the ground beneath him, Polaris.
That's not his name.
He hasn't technically been named yet. The ground beneath the dragon begins to sort of just give way due to the spell.
Yeah. I think this is like black stuff shoots out. What does Jana I never once considered what she uses spells. Wherever Jana casts magic, there's like black stuff over the water, and I feel like it's like something's kind of like eating away the water, the ice. I think is what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're using a material component pouch, so...
What do we look like when we cast magic? Like, does Chris has like a kitchen spoon he uses. Does Jana, does she just like use her hands? I've never thought about this in my life.
You use hand movements, voice stuff, and also if you have material components, you pull out like various little items to use as like the focus, if you will, as a spell that are technically consumed, but you have a pouch that is technically infinite, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so a drop of water, a few grains of sand, which technically you have. Yeah, so you sort of just reach into your pouch and you mutter a few words, do a couple of hand signs, and you throw a few grains of sand that sort of almost multiply, and they turn black over that cube, and they sort of spread out into a perfect square as you watch the ice just very rapidly just they pretty much disappear as that perfect cube just slowly, rapidly sinks into the ice, leaving a perfect 25-foot cube of missing ice that actually does hit the bottom.
Yeah.
So you do have access to a part of the hoard.
It's like a situation where there's like a layer of ice and then space. Go walk around,
Oh.
or is it just like straight ice? And we have to chip the coins out.
The ice that you're in, the ice that was eaten away, like whatever is there, is technically open now. If it's not still embedded in some way in the surrounding ice, that little square is completely open, like to the elements.
Well, may as well see what we can gain out of this then. Riley's gonna hop down, tumbling fool, so that he doesn't take any fall damage.
Okay.
I will also come on down. And can I climb it? Can I climb down?
Yeah, it's 20 foot. You have a pretty high acrobatics, I think, so easy enough. Okay. Okay. All right, so as you hit the bottom, there is like a layer of rock underneath this, which the bolt does not eat through. This appears to be what that most of the treasures are sort of just laying on. As you sort of land, you all jump in, you land on like a bed of coins, pretty much. It's not very deep, probably like a couple inches, but it is still a bed of coins, and there's still a lot of the hoard still left to uncover. There's a chest and there as well. You can open it up, it's not locked. Inside you find a assortment of statues, seemingly. Just like various busts and like ivory little like fireplace decorations, pretty much. A lot of the stuff here seems to look like it's made of like marble or ivory and like white extravagant materials, if you will. Some of them look pretty expensive. Like the craftsmanship looks like someone at some point in history, whether recently or hundreds of years ago, painstakingly took probably like several months making some of these things, and they look pretty like well kept, all things considering. You probably found about 15 of them in there.
Is someone keeping track of this?
I was not. I can.
Yes.
Riley still thinks that we're gonna siphon off some of this to the king, so
I'm gonna open the Google Doc to do that. But here's one.
Okay.
What was our exact deal with the king? Did we agree to giving him any treasure
We-
in the dragon's den?
the deal was we only get 25% of everything here.
Mm. Do you think he has like lie spells? Like, how is he gonna know?
He's scrying on us.
Oh, that's right.
Besides the chest and the coins, you also uncovered one of those light sources that was sort of embedded in the ice, and as the black sand sort of eats away the ice, leaving that Minecraft square in the floor, pretty much, that little lantern hits the ground and is sort of just sitting there, still glowing.
You know, part of me wonders how the dragon even managed to get the stuff in here. Did he put it all in here at once? How does he add to his collection? Does he have to unfreeze it every time?
Well, he's an ice dragon. That's probably not hard for an ice dragon to control ice.
I suppose.
Do you know it'd be a really dick move, but I kind of like the spirit? We never said we would bring the 75% of what we find to the king. We can just take our part only and let him
And
come
the
back for
rest
everything
you?
else. Yeah.
Well, we can put him on a technicality. I don't mind playing around those rules.
He's got people he can send out. Why, you know? That doesn't
The
seem
Frostwalker
wise.
is nowhere to go. They can find this place pretty easily.
Mhm. Why should we, like, if we go somewhere, like, what if we get mugged? What if we lose the money elsewhere? He doesn't want us to do that, right?
You know, now that we've got the Flying Dragon Fortress, we are prime targets for sky pirates.
Mm-hmm.
It is at this point you all hear a very loud explosion. Which actually... so Zero's in the hole. Chris, are you in the hole?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Just making sure.
Oh my God, was
I'm
this
looking
fucking
down at them.
Okay.
Smiling.
booby
Okay.
trapped down here?
You're,
I don't like that.
are you standing there?
Maybe one to the left.
Okay. Have it there. So it is at this point. Chris, I need you to roll damage on your delayed fireball. Delayed blast fireball.
This is gonna be a lot. I think it's like 22d6.
Yeah, you're fucked. You're dead.
Let's see. Well, it's been there for a full minute, 12, and you get an extra what? Yeah, 22d6. That is.
What was the reason, Chris? Why did you do that?
Well, I think this was how we wanted to break through the ice, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't actually do the thing. Hold on, let me do
And
that.
he didn't communicate that. He just did it.
No, he just did it.
Hold on.
Finally,
It really doesn't seem to
Chris's
actually...
negligent fire starting just finally caught up.
Hey, Mills, I'd like to remind you, if you take damage like equal to your max HP, you're fucked. You're dead. Like, you don't come back from that. And I didn't take Revivify or any revival spell, so...
Yeah, so
thought it was-
just roll, just roll 22d6, just naturally.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine if this is how we lose a character? Or
We just beat
A
a
fitting end.
dragon.
A fitting end.
I know.
Oh my god.
I need to make a dexterity saving throw, beating your own spell save DC,
Oh my God.
which is 18, I believe.
Good thing my dexterity's not that good. Hopefully. Dexterity saving?
Dexterity
Pee
saving.
my pants if this is how Chris dies. Oh my
He
God.
made it? Holy shit! Never punished!
Okay, so Chrysostomus, no consequences Killager, decided to, well, minor consequences. As you cast the delayed blast fireball, and then you watch Jana sort of eat away Minecraft Terraria, just straight into the ice. You're like, oh, what's there? And then you're sort of looking there, making some, just rooting through. You're like, right, I threw something over there. And then as you look, you see this big blast, this huge explosion of fire rushing towards you. You just remembered at the very last second, as you take one step back, enough to sort of just get singed by the forefront of the blast as you will hear this very loud, almost ear-shattering explosion from up there. I'll say the ice probably has vulnerability. Yeah, let's say it just fucking melts through all that ice there too. So we'll say I'm just going to use this as a guide. That section there, we'll say, is also fairly exposed, mostly in the where the sphere used to be. As Chris, you take 42 fire damage.
Okay.
Oh, right, healing spirit. He doesn't even go down from that, does he?
No, I don't think he does.
Without even blinking, Jan's just gonna go like, "Are you okay up there?" Like, this is just. Of course, that happened.
Didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh, tone it down a bit!
Yeah, you all look up at Chris. He's fully missing his eyebrows. Like, fully.
Simon, really quick, the chest full of ivory and marble statues, did you give a value to that yet or no? If not, I'll just leave it blank.
Just leave it blank for now. Just, we'll total everything up at the end, probably.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep a list.
Yeah.
I suppose that saves us a bit of time, though.
Gonna jump in that big hole.
The one you just made.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of slide in, no issue. It pretty like this big dome shape, like in the ice itself. A lot of fragments. Some of it looks like it's melted and then it refroze because of all the heat. But like, there's a small section around the sort of epicenter of the blast where it is exposed. Just a load of coins there from that section. Where you actually sort of look over and like some of the parts of the ship was exposed and are now like it's sort of buckled inwards from the blast, destroying the ship even more.
Riley will remember this.
Chris, you see a little exclamation mark sort of show up on the top left of your like vision. It just says Riley will remember this.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to get what's there.
Okay. As you start just shoveling money into the bag of holding, you try to push it in. It's full of snow.
Oh yeah. I have to dump that out.
Yeah.
Why do you have
As
snow in
is.
your bag?
Yeah, why isn't it water at this point?
Oh, it's water now. Yeah, actually.
Okay, I'm gonna jump out and then go to this. Actually, I'll run out. I'll run to the den of the Yetis where they were, like the little ones, and then I'll dump it out there.
Like
Okay.
on
You'll have to
them?
climb out.
Yeah, I'll try and climb out.
Okay. Make an athletics check as Riley, you sort of just peek up and you see Chris make an explosion, run into the crater, run out, and start climbing up the fucking wall.
That was like a fucking 100-foot drop or something, was it not?
It was like 100-foot drop, yeah.
Should-
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good roll.
What the fuck is Chris doing?
Yeah. And Chris succeeds. Yeah. Riley, you just watch Chris fully just begin, no problem, scaling up the wall. Just like, yeah. Just straight out of the hole. As, yeah, Chris, you dump the water.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, Chris, you don't see any sign of the Yetis that are there anymore. Just the bodies that they were eating, pretty much. So you dump the water, or you jump back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long does that take him? Because we get to do stuff in between, right?
Yeah. So while that's happening, what are you guys doing?
Procuring the gold?
Yeah,
Checking
we're
for
gonna
anything else?
Investigate to see if there's anything weird.
Yeah. Okay, make an investigation check.
Don't even need another one after that. I'll make one anyway. The fuck?
Well, look at yeah.
Yeah, so while you're all rooting in there, you find mostly coins. You see primarily gold and more silver than gold. Yeah, but aside from the chest full of those ivory and marble, like statues, busts, and accessories generally, and the lantern that sort of dropped, and sort of sitting there, sort of lighting the area around you, so you can see that sort of blue ethereal light glistening off the metal coins. Rooting around, you do find a number of like teeth, horns, and tusks from just seem like various animals. You're not sure what species or anything, but you find a good number of them,
take
probably about like
those.
11.
Hold on, dibs on that stuff.
Okay.
On the teeth.
Okay, so yeah, just put in 11 assorted teeth.
Damn, Chris is missing out.
Yeah, assorted teeth, horn, tusks.
Don't let him know he could use this cast fear on animals thing again.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of coins here. It's just guesstimating. You can probably guess there's at minimum a few thousand of each.
Clearing everything out here is probably going to take us. This is 0. It's going to take us like probably a whole day, honestly.
Is there like a vacuum?
Yeah, time.
spell?
Is there what?
Is there like a vacuum spell?
Yeah, it's just a Photoshop fill tool. You just use to move everything over to your bag of holding.
Well, I could try something. Riley's gonna take out Tempest Retort and like place it against the ice wall and just see if trying to absorb the ice does anything.
Okay. You put the thing and try to absorb ice. Some of that little ethereal fog sort of sucks in, but not the ice.
Nope, we got to do this one manually.
Can we just spot like all the coins all mixed together? Like are all the coppers in one spot and all the PPs are in another? Or is it like, like Chex Mix in here?
It's what's it called? It's fucking like assorted bags of chips. Everything's sort of all mishmashed together.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll take time to sort through and like count individually like how much you actually found. But right now it is
We don't
a
need to
math
count.
points.
I guess I guess that is the point of this session, is to count the money.
Yeah.
Let me check something. 1 action, 1 hour.
I mean, we can just spend our time. What time is it in the day right now?
That is a good question. I was going to open the app, but I forgot. Checking your watch that you bought from that lady at the thing. It's currently like 2:30, like in the noon.
Let's maybe try to spend the rest of the day, as little time as we can manage to do so, and just clearing it out. And then at the end, we will take more time to individually count everything, so I don't have to like keep updating the number every 5 minutes.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah.
Oh, there is one thing we could do.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay. You were like, we don't have to count.
If you want it organized, I can get on that process.
I mean, yeah, if you want to split it up, Riley.
All right.
Riley
Are we
can
thinking?
Come, Patsy! I cast Unseen Servant and order it to start
We're gonna
sorting
load up,
the copper out from everything else.
We're gonna like load up our new house with the money, right? Like we just bought or not bought, but like we have now so much space. Because like our pockets can't literally carry all this gold.
Oh, heavens no.
Depending on how many they have, this is Misty. I'm probably gonna get a bag of holding.
Yeah, well, even
That's
with
so smart.
the house and the bag of holding, like when you currently have, you probably won't be able to fit everything. Like absolutely everything. Just guesstimating how much you can see around you currently.
What's the step up from
yeah.
a bag of holding? Because it goes up, right? There's like duffel bags and stuff.
The bag of holding is a duffel bag. It goes down from bag of holding, if I remember correctly.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there's like backpacks that sort of do the same thing, but they're smaller. Okay. Speaking of the house, as you're sort of sorting through, the dragon sort of just looking at its new body, the servant, the spectral little shrunken head, and it sort of just looks at its claws, looks at the ice, and just jams one of its giant claws into the ice. It sinks in pretty deep, and it sort of just starts scooping out huge amounts of ice.
Nice.
Ooh, didn't even consider that possibility.
While I have this body, perhaps it is good to make use of it.
Like the way you think. We'll give you a nice name.
Any name given to me by the masters will be a nice name.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Did we agree
Don't
on
let Chris
a
hear
name?
that.
Did we agree on a name?
We're not going to say it
Tom.
yet, because we don't want scryers to overhear and then be able to scry on our dragon friend.
Okay.
I was about to make the joke, if you made a regular house, that you can name him Corey, because then Corey would be in the house. But it's not Corey in the
He
house
is
now.
the house. Corey is the house.
Yeah, Corey
Yeah.
is the house. Okay.
Simon from his own campaign.
Okay. As Corey, or whoever you name, starts going to a separate location and just begins, like a dog, sort of just shoveling ice, like huge amounts of ice that like Pompeii stone flung, like murdering ice-sized chunks are like flying everywhere, away from you as best you can. As Chris, I'll see with your athletics check, you climb down fairly without too much difficulty, but you do find yourself back down there again.
I'll explore it and see what I can find.
Okay. Yeah, from the area, the dome you created, that little crater, was you mostly just find coins, pretty much, just coins in an area. It didn't reach all the way to the ground. It made like this crater, so there is still some ice around the edges. Yeah, but you don't find a huge, like, interesting amount there. Okay, I'll just say, yeah, what you guys doing? Still have a good amount of ice to get through if you just want to channel everything out and then counter later.
Well, I did order my unseen servant to start sorting out the copper, so Riley will himself sort out the silver.
Yeah, you actually don't find any copper. Like in the area you're in, you find you find none copper. It's mostly gold and silver coins.
Okay, in that case, the unseen servant will sort out the silver, and I will sort out the gold.
Yeah, it'll still take a while. You're standing in like ankle high, like puddles of coins right now.
That's fine.
We have time.
Yeah, you got a lot of time. Okay, so I'll just go. Riley, how are you gonna try to chip through the ice?
How am I going to?
Hmm?
Well, I can start by using Shatter. I only have a few of those, so I'll probably just use it once.
Okay. Yeah, thunder damage does do a good chunk. As you, oops.
And I'll aim it, like, yonder this way.
Okay. Yeah.
Just hold on. I don't remember how. Just whatever this general location without hitting the dragon.
Okay. Yeah. So as you cast Shatter, just blasting out big chunks, the ice sort of above it sort of collapsed inwards as you do take some time clearing out the rubble, but you do unlock a little bit more. Was like 10-foot cube there. Okay.
I think
0.
This roughly lines up to about 25%.
I kind of just want to explore some other areas.
What do you mean in the ice? In the money zone?
I want to check out this thing.
What the?
Oh, sorry.
Looks like
I
fish
clicked on
bone.
the map. Yeah. Like a whale skeleton?
Looks like a hammerhead shark.
So Jana will cast at 4th level. Create destroy water over there.
Okay. Making a very solid. Are you going just up and over on top of it, or are you going through the making your hole currently bigger?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I want to go over there and like, yeah.
Okay. Okay. As you unearth more of the ice, yeah, it is a huge, some sort of fish skeleton, with like weird, like a weird, like crescent-shaped skull. Otherwise, looks like a normal fish, kind of like shark-like. It's huge. It is very, very big. It's probably a little bit bigger than the shark you found in the hag's little underwater lair. Bigger. And it is currently resting atop a bed of coins. Like, just assume anywhere you're walking down here is covered in coins.
Can I also take some of its bones?
Yeah. As you're sort of chipping away using your cool magic knife that you can summon with a tattoo. Even with that, it takes a little bit of doing. Like, the bones themselves are very, very dense for whatever reason. Yeah, but you do like one of the ribs. You sort of just cut a chunk of it off, just the tip.
Cool.
Okay, just put down like let's say one ancient shark bone. Yeah, like Jenny, you could sit in its mouth and it could probably eat you in one bite if it wanted to.
Because like, how good is Jana at like what's archaeology? Like, can she look at the skeleton of the shark and be like, I know what this is, and then like turn into that shark? That bullshit I have to do.
Make a nature check.
Yes.
Okay. What's the maximum CR you can turn into actually right now? I'm just double checking.
I might
Yeah, 'cause
have
right-
been up. For sure I have a swim speed, so I know I can be
You can be sharks, yes. Sixth level, which you are not currently.
But when I'm ready, I could do it.
You could. Fuck. Where is it? I need to go to the thing. Where is she? One.
One?
Mhm.
What does that mean?
CR1 maximum. You can turn into with a thing. I'll say.
So I'll never hit CR6 is what you're saying?
I'm just looking at the stats you have. With your nature check, I'll say. Yeah, I'll say you can probably you identify this as a very old, like ancient shark species. Like is not around anymore. Not sure what it's called. You just know of telltales of signs from your old tribe that they would go to the coast and like whole groups would go missing in like a day because of one shark that's just been patrolling that side of the coast for a while. I'll say because you rolled so high, you can turn into like a small version of this if you want to.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, I've got an idea. Riley will attempt to, he'll place his hands on the shark bones, and then try to offer it up to Gwina. This is probably closer to the time where you were around. Perhaps a returnal is in order.
Make a religion check.
Sure. Nat 1 incoming, as it always is. I'm never gonna get anywhere with this.
You gotta get good at the Bible.
Don't know how to be religious. I just know how to fish.
Okay. As you sort of send a prayer out to Gwina and just put your hands sort of on that crescent shape of the shark. Put your hands. Nothing seems to happen. And it's just like, dang, and you turn around, you can hear like a cracking from behind you as Janet, you're sort of sitting there studying this shark skeleton, and you can see it doesn't move, but you can see elements of like ocean life, like sea anemones, like coral begin to grow very in like small elements of the bones of the shark. And despite the frigid environment and the fact there's no water, they seem to stay.
Well, you've seen it here first. The miracles of the Gwina.
Good show.
If they never warms up, we could have a lake here.
Ooh.
Okay. Zero, what you doing?
I don't know. There's not much I can do here to clear the ice. I'm just waiting for more patches to be open so I can help everyone go through stuff.
Okay. All right. Chris, what's you doing?
I'm gonna go towards the light. I'm gonna go towards where it's kind of glowing,
Okay.
and I'm
right
gonna
there.
use flaming sphere to dig away at it to that point.
Okay. As you cast the flaming sphere, which I'll just do. Whoops. I'll make a second flaming sphere. This is the actual flaming sphere. Yeah, as you cast flaming sphere, and you sort of leave it there for a while. The flames, begin to melt the ice fairly rapidly. And in like, how long does it last? Like a minute or something?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay. I'll say in that minute because it melts fairly rapidly and you're just leaving like a ceiling hang above you. You can get probably about about this much carved out in a go.
Slow pickings. You know what? Cast another shatter just before dedicating myself to the organization.
Okay. Where are you doing that?
Right where I am. Or like carving out another like square shape here. Adjacent, yeah.
Okay. Did you blast that out? More coins from there.
More coins or no?
More coins.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much most of the floor here is covered in coins.
Yep, just gonna keep to organizing then. My servant only lasts an hour, so...
Yep, and what's it, Patsy or whatever the fuck his name
Yep,
is?
Patsy.
Has shoveled like a good amount of silver coins specifically into like the corner of the one of the piles, and it's just sort of is parsing out the gold that's in there as well. Yeah, so the organization is happening. As Chris, you melt through that section. More coins and it's like a crate of some sort. The crate looks very like decadently decorated. Like it's like a very dark wood crate, which is strange for crates.
Does it? Would I recognize the wood? Like I'm from Nelid. Like, would this look like some sort of like the type of wood I'd find in Nelid, like around in the Forest of Faces and that sort of thing?
Looking around, you don't recognize the tone. The wood around the Forest Faces are like range from a lot of colors. Some of it's paler, some of it's darker, some of it's just a normal brown. This is like a fairly dark, like almost ebony wood. It's very nice looking. Aside from that, you also find that lantern, like a it almost looks like it's made of the same wood, but it's almost paler a little bit. And where as you take a closer look at that lantern, you can see where most lanterns have glass. This one has like a very, very thin layer of ice that's like pretty much transparent. And inside you can see there's a blue flame flickering.
Yeah, I'll carry the lantern on me, and then I want to check what's inside the crate.
Okay. Yeah, with a bit of doing, the crate is like frozen solid, but seemingly you have no issues with athletics checks. So, yeah, you can pop that open. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, inside you find a horn, like one you used to blow into to make noise. it looks like it's made of some sort of beast horn, but the horn, the horn itself, is actually like black. But you can see there's like weird lines that looks like it came from a horn or a tusk or something. There's like a light leather wrapping around it with like intricate scrawling into the actual horn itself in this like almost a lattice work shape.
I'm gonna try and blow into it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Just roll a D100 for me.
Oh, love to see it.
I might have died.
I don't like the sound of that.
Okay.
Is he finally punished?
Yeah. So you blow into the horn, and let's see here. Okay, I'll say you're here when that happened. Okay, as you blow into the horn, you all hear this very loud, like almost like a thunder, like a crack of thunder, like indoors. Again, it's the second, like almost deafening explosion you've heard in the last like 5 minutes. And then after that, like a big thunderous clap, you hear the most majestic, billowing, like war horn you've ever heard in your life. As you blow that horn, you feel like a recoil from the horn as you blow into it, as you get blasted back probably about like a foot, and you catch yourself as a huge blast of thunderous energy just knocks out a bunch of that ice, making this like wave of just shattered, broken ice. And as you're like, sick, that's cool, you can see that scrawling on the horn begin to crack. And then that crack spreads into, like, spiderwebs into more cracks as the horn explodes.
Oh my god.
You take 41 fire damage. And the horn explodes and is gone.
Oh no.
So that's why he was laughing. Okay.
Can I just say, Chris does what is that spell? He does detect magic every fucking time for like
Identify,
nothing.
yeah.
Like, over a pencil, identify, yeah. And this one time,
The one time he does it, it fucking explodes and kills him.
I can't stand Chris. Like,
We could just let him die. He has to do some death saves now.
There's a 20% chance for the horn to explode.
is he down?
Yeah, he's down
Yeah.
after that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm still up.
What? After taking 40 damage twice, you're still up.
Let's make him go
Yep.
down so we can just take a nap and just like sit this out.
Just
Somebody
snipe 'em.
punch him really quick. Yeah. He's causing too much damage. I think like Zero's climbing out of the hole to see what's happening. Because none of us really saw that, right? Like he's on the
No.
surface.
Yeah, as you hear he's actually under the surface now. I sort of climb up. There's a big fuck off crater, and then you see like a tunnel that's been carved out underneath. And then you see Chris sort of just on the ground, burning slightly with like this big shattered like wall of ice in front of him.
You good there, bud? What's going on there?
Yep, we're all good.
Cool.
I can't believe you blew
Nothing
up the
happened
magic
here.
item on the first use you used it.
I hate it here. While I'm up here, I guess I'm gonna go instead assist. How do you say his name? I've been saying Polaris. Is it Polaris?
I imagine either would work.
Okay, I'm gonna go help Polaris. I know he was like scooping through the ice, so I'm gonna go investigate the areas that he's dug up.
Okay. Yeah, which would be there. Okay, I'll say, yeah, say it's probably been about like 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so at this point. As Polaris, the dragon, don't think that's, he knows that's his name yet, but the
No.
dragon, yeah, using his big dragon claws, he's carved out a sizable chunk, honestly. Like even in this small time frame you've given, he's already carved out like to this, like to the bottom of like this pretty 25-foot, like cube, pretty much, like with nothing but his claws. I sort of walk up and look at his handiwork. He sort of just goes, "I hope this pleases you, master."
I'm gonna give him a little nod as a thank you. And hop in.
Okay. All right. So you hop in. Yeah, more coins. And there is a chest in this one as well. Chest looks a little bit more extravagant than the ones you've found previously. Most chests you've seen. This one almost looks like it's made of like this very light yellow wood, almost gold. And there's actual gold like bandings around it. And there appears to be a lock that's been stylized to look like an eye.
If there's a lock, no, there's not.
Would you like to roll for it? You really don't need to, but would you like to?
I would like to.
Yeah,
Does this look like? Does this look like weird and magic or anything like that?
Make an investigation check. Yeah, as you're sort of looking at the lock, investigating, see if there's any traps. The eye, yeah, the lock itself is shaped like an eye, but the actual keyhole is where the pupil would be. And as you sort of look around, like it, and just expecting the chest, it's not like the biggest chest in the world. It's like a fairly large, like jewelry box almost. It almost looks like the eye's looking at you for some reason.
I'm gonna keep it like just put it to the side for now. I'm not gonna open it because that creeped me out a little bit, but I'm gonna take note of it and return to it after we can kind of see in the future if there's anything up with that.
Okay. Yeah, but other than the chest, there's a barrel there. That one's just normal barrel. You can open it up. Filled to the brim with gold coins.
Tight.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much, but a lot of gold coins. And you sort of just dump it out with the rest of it.
I'm not gonna dump it out. Wait, I guess I would. I can't carry it, can I? Like, it's heavy as fuck.
It's pretty heavy.
Okay.
Player sort of just runs in and just like leans in, picks up the chest with like 2 fingers and just puts it up onto the surface.
I'm gonna ask the dragon if he can't grab things with his hand, right? Like, he doesn't have a fucking thumb.
You can try. He has like you watch him pick up that barrel. Yeah, he has like fairly weird like dexterity with his limbs.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have him take that over to Riley where he's sorting?
Okay. Yeah. As Riley just a new barrel. Like there's 2 piles where you are of gold and silver, and a barrel of gold just dumps onto that gold pile there.
Ooh, more gold to sort. Fun.
What are you rolling for?
I was trying to see if he was disappointed or happy.
Okay. Jenna, what you doing?
They still have their chests around, right?
In the area you're in,
Oh, sorry, up, over. Like, I'm looking at these guys. Ooh, ooh.
oh yeah, there's a couple more chests around barrels and stuff. There's a few around you can sort of see, if you can try to like dig
Oh.
through it. Players is
I
actually
do
trying to dig
see.
through the area this in right now. Yeah.
Doug, I see this one over here. I missed that. Is that
Okay,
that's like
yeah,
a barrel, right? What's
that one looks like cylindrical, like a barrel. Yeah.
this one? Looks like a chest.
From your view, kind of. It's square-like.
I'll help Polaris with the barrel.
Okay. Yep. As let's say like another 15 minutes pass of sorting through stuff, Polaris has made another sizable chunk right there.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Oh yeah. Chris, in that time, as you're sitting there singeing from the face, you got blasted twice in the face by fire in 5 minutes.
I think all my facial hair is off.
Yeah. You look like a burned nutsack right now. Like, just straight scrotum. You have the lantern still there, and that thunder blast of horn did carve out a little new section there for you too.
I guess I'll check out that new section.
Okay.
See what's in there.
All right. Yep. As you walk in, clearing some of the rubble, a lot more coins. There's a barrel that's sort of like half still embedded in the ice. You can still pop the top off. Like fill to the brim with silver coins, like all the way. Like you pull it off and it just like pours forth like this torrent of silver coins.
I'll try and stuff as much coins in my bag of holding.
Okay, so while you're over there, just as many as you can.
Yep.
Okay. Sure. Okay. You technically wouldn't know how much you would get, but just for bookkeeping, for sanity, actually no, we'll total all up at the end. You shovel a bunch of things into your try to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna do this. Okay. Sorry, math. Okay. Yep, so you shovel in a bunch of coins. Like as much as you can possibly carry.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What's everybody else doing?
Same as before.
All right. Sorting. Okay. We'll say for the okay, Zero. What you doing? Are you opening that chest or are you gonna continue just sorting through?
I'm gonna hold on to the chest for now. And how big is it? You said like a large jewelry box?
Like a fairly large jewelry box, maybe small chest. Like it's not the biggest chest in the world. It's like it's not a video game chest.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep it with me to the side for now, and I'm gonna keep exploring whether Polaris is digging up and just.
Okay.
I guess I don't really have any way of doing this, like any cool magic way. I was gonna start like helping to pull the money, I guess, closer to Polaris, and then end up pushing like a bigger pile of it to Riley. Whatever money is in this little space, I guess that's where I'm in currently. I will start to do it with my hands. And can I use Mage Hand at the same time as I'm using my own hands, or no?
You can move Mage Hand as a bonus action, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Then I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
that was it.
I'm gonna use my hands, I guess, and Mage Hand to just kind of, I don't know, just gather the coins and just gradually push them closer to Riley's area.
Okay. All right. Okay, Jenna, you're gonna explore the new area that the dragon has carved out.
Yeah.
Okay. As you walk in, all of this ice and snow, whatever, neatly piled to the side. You find a couple things here. Mostly a lot of gold and silver. You find like a very small like chest, another chest. This one's smaller though. It could probably fit on the desk if you wanted to. Just a fairly standard looking chest. The crates, barrels, everything there, filled a lot to the brim with gold and silver.
Nice.
Okay. The chest is not locked. If you'd like to open it.
Yes. Can I check for traps before I open it?
Sure. Make an investigation check. Fairly certain it's not trapped.
I open it.
Okay. You open it. It looks like a chest containing potions.
Ooh.
Yeah, the glass on these potions are very extravagant. Like they're shaped to look like a heart, but like anatomically.
Cool.
And has all the valves and veins and everything. Inside is like a red liquid that has not frozen, weirdly. The liquid itself looks like a viscous, darker version of your healing potions. Like otherwise looks normal, like a healing potion, but just like more blood-like, if that makes sense.
I keep that one. Are there more?
Okay.
Are there more potions?
There's 2 of those same potions.
If I'm over here, I don't think. Do I have something like? I don't think I have it prepared if I do, but do I have something like detect magic? I thought I do, but I don't see it.
I don't think so, if I remember correctly.
Might be
Maybe-
thinking of a primeval awareness again.
I think I could have taken it, maybe, but I didn't. Like as a ranger spell. Maybe that's why I'm thinking I could. Okay. I will ask
Yeah, like
someone about this
locate.
later, but I'll put them in my pocket.
Okay.
Just because I'm worried it could be like a love potion or something, I don't want to ask Chris to identify them. Just something that could be misused. So what I put 2.
It's 2 potions with heart-shaped bottle. Yeah. For now.
Okay.
Yeah, as I'll say, you're rooting around in that section a little bit, Jana. Just sorting through the gold pouching as anything else, you find a couple more teeth, tusks, horns. They're just sort of just strewn about all over the place. If you'd like, you can add 30 more if you want to, for a total of 41.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, of just
Why-
various tusks and
Why
horns.
wouldn't
Yeah.
I at this point? Janet the Teeth Girl.
Yeah, and as you're sort of rooting through and picking up all these things, one like pile of gold sort of just uncovers like a spherical object. It kind of looks like a metal, but sort of like dark blue. And just like a part of it, yeah, part of it's just peeking out from the pile.
I want to pull it out.
Okay, you grab it. It's cold, very cold. As you pull it out, it's like a sphere of metal with like a lens in it, like a glass lens. It looks very similar, if not identical, to those sphere-like constructs in the Underdark you saw.
Oh.
The ones with like bodies and everything, but just the sphere.
I don't know what to do with this. I put it off to the side to ask someone else what they want to do with it later.
Okay. All right.
Also, can I just say I let everyone know I found this. I don't know if we care about this or not.
Sphere construct. What did those look like again?
Let me just pull one up real quick.
That was like the robot things, right? The sentry
Yeah.
things.
Because on one
Oh, like
hand,
in
I'm
the
like,
starship? Oh,
in my
those
head,
things.
I'm like, this thing's dead, so it'd be like messed up to bring it back, right? Like I have a corpse. This isn't something like
Yeah.
we could reactivate.
Yeah, you saw this in the Underdark. Some like you when they went down, their bodies sort of just fell apart. That sphere is what you found, Jana. Also, I think some of you still have some like in the bags you have currently.
Like the top left sphere thing?
Top left sphere thing, yeah,
And it's just that separated from everything else.
seemingly.
Okay.
Like this just makes me sad. I don't think there's anything we can do with this, but it makes me sad.
I mean, that's the thing that tried to kill us, right?
That's evidence for the king. If we ever decide that.
It's a little bit harrowing to know that this dragon could have been a valuable asset in the battle against whatever those fucking things are.
Okay, so okay, we'll say for the sake of brevity that over the course of, let's say, the next hour, with spells or just chipping away with your weapons, your completely invulnerable weapons, and probably more notable, the dragon's help, who sort of just made this place to begin with. The entirety as much as you can dig has been excavated to be open for pretty much everybody. Okay, let's just advance time as you begin sorting through. Riley, you've sorted through a good amount at this point. The pile of money has, is getting like fairly high up. Like you could probably run up it and like climb out if you wanted to.
Mm.
Yeah, but you still have a few chest barrels to go through that ship.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to cast Shatter on the ship because it'll probably break along with the ice. I want that thing intact.
Okay.
Are there any? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, are there any more like weird looking chests?
There's a few that look expensive. You find one that is like fairly expensive looking. Like it's made of metal, and not like a shitty like pewter or anything. Like it's made of like some sort of like silver or platinum. Just this chest itself could probably sell for a good amount, and it is locked.
Can I spend my time going through the remainder of like well, not the remainder. I don't know how everything, but like I want to go through this chest, I guess, and Yeah, I'll go ahead and unlock this one.
Okay. If you want to, you can make a thieves' tools check.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really want to.
Of course I do.
Okay. Okay, so you rolled a 9. Oh, no, sorry.
A 10.
No, well, it's net reliable talent. If
okay.
0 rolls a natural 1, that means it's a 29. Yeah. So you roll 10 or lower, which means it's a 29. Yeah, you unlock it.
What? No way!
Inside you see a... What the fuck? Oh my god, what the hell? I seem to have exited my app. I roll 20. Whatever. Inside you see a good amount of, like, gems. Like, a lot of gems. What's going on? Like, what the fuck? Sorry. Just sifting through. Like, it's a smaller chest, but it is packed full to the brink of gems. You see only 2 types, though. You see a few diamonds. They're fairly small, but there's a good amount of them in there. And you see like almost like this milky white gemstone, which as a thief you would know that this is called moonstone. Not magical or anything, they're just sort of just pretty looking. There's not a huge amount there, so you count them to be about 14 of these small diamonds and about 32 of these medium-sized moonstone gems.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. There's also more of these lanterns if you want to pick them up. There's a good amount. Just 6 more in total. They're sort of just laying around. Right. Chris has one currently just hanging around the belt.
Yeah, I'll gather them and bring them over to Rayleigh just to put them near the horde.
Okay. All right.
If there's more chests with locks on them, I can go ahead and open those up for us.
Yeah, there's some of them are locked, but you know they're like normal chests, and they're mostly filled with just more money. Yeah. Yeah, the only one you haven't unlocked that of worth is the one you found with like the eye shape on it.
Okay.
You do find, rooting through, 2 more of those spheres. Those bluish metal ones with the lenses.
Creepy.
Yep, so 3 altogether in total. Okay. Yep, and there's still the ship as well.
I think we should probably take care of the ship the next day. China can melt the ice
I mean, I can do that right now.
to its fullest extent.
I mean, I can cast the Destroy Water, which would be the same size square as that one in the lower right.
How many more times?
Like 2 more.
All right, give it a shot.
While everyone's gathering everything together, I'm gonna do detect magic as a ritual.
Okay. Yeah, so you pop that. The lantern you have is magical, and as you approach everyone else, the horde, the other 6 lanterns that are pretty much identical to yours, magical. Just, you know, rolling through the horde. The 2 potions that Jenna found are magical. The chest that has the eye on it, magical, and there's something inside of it that is also magical.
I'll let them know. Like, Jana has things that are magical, and that chest is magical.
I'm assuming
uh,
the chest is the one with the eye, right?
Yes.
Magic chest.
Can I guess check it for traps one more time? I just want to go ahead and get it open. And I'm just afraid it'll, I don't know, pull up on me or something.
Okay. Yeah, let's make another investigation check then. Okay, yeah, I'm just rooting through it, trying to look at any like obvious signs or unobvious signs of traps, any wires, any like latches that'll break. Looking through it, you don't find anything like mechanical at the very least, but you, as you're sorting it, that eye is, you don't see it move, but every time you see it from peripheral vision, it looks like it's looking at you. And when you look back, it's like normal again.
Yeah, I don't. I'll wait till somebody can identify it because I don't feel right just unlocking it right now.
Yeah.
It's too weird.
You
can I
see,
go up to the
Yeah.
chest?
let's have both the elves over there.
I mean, yeah, if Chris is available, I'll let him cast Identify on the chest.
Yeah, I just wanna check to see if there's like any runes or anything on it as well.
Yeah, just make an Arcana check then.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking through. You don't see any runes per se, but you do notice that weird effect of like that lock, the lock and shape of an eye, the keyhole directly right in the middle where the pupil, the eyeball would be. Looking at it, you can like just move your head, look at it, it's fine. But when you look from the peripheral, from the side, it looks like it's looking at you.
Does Riley notice it looking at Chris?
No.
Okay.
I
You see, it's
guess-
looking at you, but I don't see that happening.
Maybe stand on the other side of me. Maybe it's looking at you as well.
All right, Riley will do as he commands.
Okay. Yeah, as you both sort of just go on either ends of this chest, kind of looking at it, looking directly at it, yeah, nothing happens. But when you sort of look off to the side, look at somebody else, you both see it looking at you.
That's bizarre. Riley's gonna read its mind.
Okay. You cast Detect Thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It is a chest. It has no thoughts.
So this thing isn't operating on any sort of biological structure.
Can I I'll try and identify it.
Okay. Sure. You cast Identify as a ritual, I assume.
Yep.
You cast Identify on the chest itself. A very similar sense to the tablet and any other ancient relic you found. You get that it's very, very old. And as you're just like, oh, this is really old, you see almost, like not visually, but like almost like in your brain, like a sea of owl feathers sort of just cover your like vision or your thoughts. And then as they fade, you get this weird sense that it's not like a very malevolent chest. And you're not sure why that you know that.
Malevolent or benevolent?
Malevolent.
So it's not evil.
Chris knows that, apparently. Yeah, but you get the sense like you hit that dead end of magic again. Like anytime you identify some ancient artifact, and you, as the spell ends, you suddenly get this weird, like, burst of knowledge.
It's I'm not sure what it is or how to exactly unlock it, but it doesn't seem to be that dangerous, I think.
Can I try something?
Sure.
I want to take my dagger out and hold it next to the chest to see if anything happens.
Okay, as you take your dagger out, as you sort of just put it near it, you see, all of you visually see the eye look at it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I used all my charges today. Can I, like... What shape is the... I guess I know you said that the keyhole is like where the pupil would be, but like what shape is it? Is it just a normal keyhole?
Looks like a normal keyhole. The dagger doesn't even look like it would fit in, honestly.
Yeah. Can I try to pick the lock?
Sure. Make a thieves' tools check. So you rolled a 7, so that's a 29. Yeah, and as you put your keys, your tools into the keyhole, and you start just feeling around, it does not feel like any lock you've ever felt, ever. Like, it's almost like twisted on the inside. Like, it doesn't go straight in, there's no tumblers or anything. It feels like you're reaching into, like, a random hole with, like, branches or, like, twigs sticking out of it. Like, it's a complete mess in there. And yet, as you're sort of just rooting through it, you're getting a weird, like, sense of how to unlock this, despite having never encountered this type of lock before. And you're sort of just, like, moving these weird protrusions from the inside of the lock around. Some of them move, some of them don't. You're almost instinctually just move them into different positions until they're eventually, over the course of, like, let's say 30 seconds, all of those little protrusions on the inside are all lined up. And once you do that, and you have no idea how you figure that out, you put them all into place in a single straight line as the lock closes its eyes as you remove your tools, and when it does, the lock drops off, hits the ground, and the chest opens.
I want to pick up the lock and keep the lock.
Okay. Put in one eye lock if you want to.
Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and slowly open the chest.
Okay. Inside, there is a single object in it. It looks like a medium-sized, like slightly smaller than a basketball, like glass orb. Inside, you can see a spherical orb of gold inside the glass. So there's two orbs inside. Sorry, glass orb, another sphere of gold on the inside of it. It's like, yeah, ball inside of a ball. The golden orb on the inside has patterning that looks very familiar, or reminiscent of feathers, sort of just like etched on the outside.
That pattern is familiar, or does it just is it familiar because it looks like feathers?
It looks like feathers, like recognizably look like feathers.
Okay, but we have no idea what this symbol means.
Does it match the feathers on my dagger?
As you match it, look at the dagger, they look fairly similar.
Oh,
Can I pick it up?
Yeah, you pick it up. You just have like this little glass orb. You sort of rattle it around. It sort of, makes very neat glass on metal sound as it's sort of rolling around on the inside of it. Yeah.
Okay. I guess for now, I mean, I don't know if Chris wants to identify it also, or we can just wait for that another time.
I could try to identify it, but it might give me the same result as something ancient. But I'll try anyways.
Okay, so while you're casting Identify there, Jenna, you're gonna try to free the ship from the clutches of ice, the little block it's encased in right now. Okay. As you cast creators through water, say 2 times, sort of to encompass the whole ship. Yeah, you managed to clear out like a perfect, just like pretty much the remainder of the ice that's still blocking anything in this layer. Like removing like a cast from the actual like product. You just eat away all of the ice with that black sand and reveal a whole ass ship. It looks pretty ragged. The actual sails themselves have been just long destroyed, just wet and just ragged, sad almost. The mast has been like, completely broken. There's like a weird burn mark on the side of it for no reason. It looks pretty demolished, but intact mostly.
Does it look like, there's like can I go below deck or anything? Like, can I investigate the ship?
You can very easily go into below deck, actually, because there's big holes punched into it if you just wanted to walk through.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as you sort of just walk in, you don't see a lot of cargo or anything. You don't really see any bodies. Just a lot of wood splinters, but you look like to be in like the cargo hold of the actual ship itself. At the very end, at the far back, you see something fairly large and made of metal. But there's not a whole lot of light to sort of see what it is. You can approach closer if you'd like.
Yes.
Okay. As you get further in, you see sort of leading up against the bow of the ship, like in the cargo hold, the bow side of the ship, a fairly tall humanoid shape, sort of like stubby legs, but like fairly long arms, has like a metal humanoid face, and it looks like a lot of its body is like comprised of some sort of like metal cable, and you can see like there's like a hollow where the chest is, where the stomach would be, like the torso.
Does it look like the one we found in the Underdark?
It does look very similar.
I let everyone know that I found this. Do you think these are the same ones, or like how many of them are walking around getting into stuff?
Chris, you had a conversation with Mondo about this, right?
Yeah.
Riley knows that,
Well,
right?
Yeah, I would have told you guys, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, well, he suggested that it might be used as sort of maybe it takes energy from biological things, I think. That's what he suggested. So it may have, it seems to have room for a body to go in.
Oh, like this could be reactivated? Like this is just like a shell and something else would move in? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not certain, though.
Considering the last one bitch slapped me with a bunch of cords, I don't think I'm really in the mood to try it out.
Yeah.
Riley's gonna go back to sorting.
Okay. All right. At this point, aside from the coins, you've looted everything, every container in this hoard, and all that's left is to sort coins.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said that this is just the body, no head, right?
There's a head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has like a humanoid face, sort of. It's made of metal. It's like, it almost looks like a mask.
Okay. For a minute,
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be another, like, and if I put the head on it, it will, yeah, okay. Nope. I thought I had a hunch.
Yeah, this one looks more intact than the other one. Like the other one was sort of like it looked like acid melted or something, but this one just took a full body. It's sort of just sitting there though.
Weird.
Okay. Yeah. So sorting through, digging through everything, took probably about 2 hours total with the dragon's help. It didn't take too long. With the dragon's body that made it. Sorting it is going to be a different matter. That's a lot of counting. Yeah, Riley, you are that hole that you've first dug out, mostly filled with coins. Like all of them, just pushed together in that one pile.
Like
there's
the
a
one
lot of
over
coins.
here.
The original hole you dug that Janet dug out with the
The Janet
extra
did.
water,
Okay.
mostly filled with coins, like mostly.
Yeah, I comfortably think that all of this belongs to us.
Yeah. I mean, we dug out mostly everything, right, and sorted it. We can just count up everything, say that's
We
all
dug
there
out
is.
mostly everything and sorted from here. There's still all this, and all this, and all this,
Yeah.
and all this,
Got
and
it.
all this, and all this.
Yeah. There's a lot of coins to sort through. There's a neat pile that you and your unseen servant have made, surrounded by a mess, pretty much.
Did I get anything from the identify?
Oh, about the actual sphere.
Yeah.
You do, weirdly enough. Like you feel like you're almost on that cusp of like that ancient artifact thing again. But you are more familiar with this type of magic. Strange. This is a magic item that is known, but it's called a scrying eye. It basically lets you cast the scry spell like once per day.
Holy shit!
You know, knowing that we're being spread, I'm gonna kind of like motion, like tap my head, and just gonna do that because I don't want to say what it is out loud yet.
I'm gonna, I guess, see that and not hear Chris respond, and so I'm gonna go ahead and cast message and ask him, what is it?
Yep, it's an orb that can let us scry.
Hell yeah. Oh, yes.
Like once per day.
Nice.
It will be fun. And that's all.
Hanging up now, bye.
Alright, I guess all we can do is like roll up our sleeves and start counting.
Yeah, maybe I liked Riley's idea of we just count what we think is 25% and leave everything else.
Okay. As you all begin to crowd around this huge mountain of gold that you have compiled right next to the smaller pile of neatly sorted gold. Not counted yet, but sorted. Okay. So as you all sort of just begin counting tediously. Like an hour passes, you guys have making a dent. Another hour passes, it's still going. It's been probably about 4 or 5 hours since you guys have started this whole digging and excavating and just counting, sorting process. I was just calling Ratave. The dragon sort of just still getting used to his new body. You can see him sort of just flying around and sort of hitting the walls every so often. Just still trying to get used to, not being a spectral fart. Okay, another hour passes. You guys are making a dent for sure, but probably 6 hours pass before you fully counted about everything neatly piled. Hold on. Math.
So it was all this plus a barrel that Zero dropped in.
Plus other miscellaneous barrels.
Chests too.
Okay, so starting with, as you're sorting through, you actually find a couple coins that weren't silver. They look silver, but they're actually platinum coins that were sort of just strewn about.
Nice.
You find 3,674 platinum coins.
You're gonna use Speak slower.
3,674 platinum coins,
Okay. Yep.
which is equivalent to 36,000 gold almost.
Throw it all in the
God.
community chest.
That's just platinum.
Yeah, it's just the one.
You find 49,371 gold pieces.
We
One more
killed
time.
the
49,000?
1%.
We
Oh,
are
sorry.
the 1%.
Actually, you find 46,884 gold pieces because Chris took some.
One more time. How much?
46,000.
Yeah.
884. And Chris, you just sort of took some on the side, so you gain an extra. Just the coin you took that without counting was 2,487 coin. 2,487 gold. Chris, you took.
Never ask for help again.
So let me just.
That was 2,487.
2,487 you took. Yep. So let me just.
You guys want to hit at McDonald's on the way home?
We can be a little bit fancier than that. Let's go to Wendy's.
And there's no copper. The rest is silver. There is 108,260 silver coins.
There's what?
Not many. There's 100,000 gold silver coins here.
How much is that in gold?
Oh, actually no. Sorry, Chris took some again, so there's actually this much.
She took 8,000 silver.
You just shoveled in a lot of coins. Chris, you can add 7,910 silver. That's a lot of coins.
That's a lot.
Yeah, you sort of just shoveled in an indiscriminate amount. It was mostly silver coins this horde, yeah.
How much is that silver in gold?
10,000?
That is. Let's hold on. 10,035 gold.
So that's 356k plus three. We have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Let me add all this together.
Uh,
How much was Claudine's father's debt?
Oh.
So you guys in total, excluding the stuff Chris took, the in total you have left is in gold. Like in gold total, not the actual gold coins, is 93,659 gold altogether.
I'm gonna need
Nice.
a second.
I love
They're-
that for us.
They're still separated into two different coin types. But yeah, even if you fill the bag of holding and the house, you probably won't be able to fit everything.
What a
How
good
much
problem to
Why
have.
don't we go spend some of this at the
Yeah,
Acme's right
let's go
now?
buy more bag of holdings to hold all of our money.
Simon, sorry, what was the total one more time?
For the total gold worth, or like the actual amount you get.
No, the gold worth.
93. There we go. Yeah, this is excluding the stuff Chris took, which I don't think any of you guys saw.
Yeah, we didn't see any of that. He was off in his own corner.
Yeah. Exploded from a horn, and also the that's hilarious. You found a magic item, and then before you even know what it did, you destroyed the magic item.
I can't think of anything more fitting for Chris.
Who has the scrying eye, by the way?
And
Okay,
Probably
cool.
0. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add that to your list then.
thank you.
Criminal scum. Does everyone have those lanterns at this point?
I never remember picking one up, but if I can always take one if it needs to be done.
I
It's up to
have
you.
one.
Yeah, I think there's like 6 left other than Chris's, so we can
Yeah,
all have
there,
them.
there's 7 total lanterns.
Did I use my sending stone today? I don't recall doing so.
I don't remember.
How many
Was
third
it while
levels?
we were climbing up the mountain at
Oh, I
all?
got 3. I'm fine. I don't remember. If it's not, I'll just mark down one of my sendings. I'll theoretically use the sending stone, but if not, then it doesn't really matter. I can still send anyway to Claudine. Dragons dealt with. There's more coin here than you could ever use in your entire life. Oh, do we want to ask Claudine if she wants to come to Thane?
I mean, we
Yeah.
still have a lot of discussing to do. So it's up to you, I guess. Unless you're asking us and
Yeah, I'm asking the party.
I shrug.
I'm okay with it.
I nod yes.
Do you want to come to Thane? Chris has got you covered. Send message.
Jana's taking 2 of the lanterns.
2 lanterns, okay. Sure. I'm just gonna add the. Actually, guys, they haven't been identified yet, so I'm actually not gonna do that. But yeah, whoever wants lanterns, you can take a lantern if you want to.
May as well.
Okay, so everyone has a lantern at the very least. So, there's still 2 more. I think from the 7.
This
I'll
is something
So-
that you can like tie around your waist, right? Somebody did that.
Yeah, they're just lanterns. Yeah,
Okay.
like they're sizable, but like they're not like
Right.
huge. They're just
Jana took
lanterns.
2 because 1 will be tied around Giorgio, so he has his own little light.
Nice.
I guess we can split the last 2 between me and Riley. If he wants a second.
Alright, took one.
I'll
Okay.
just take one more then.
All
Yeah,
right.
while everyone's handing out their lanterns, I'll identify mine.
Okay. Yep. So we'll say over that. Let's add that to everybody's character sheet, I guess, because everyone has one now. It's called a boreal lantern. It is a.
Ooh, nice.
It's not a hugely powerful enchantment. It's just like a never-ending lantern, but it's blue. It works underwater. It can't be destroyed either unless you put it in a fire for a little while.
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay. You send the sending to Claudine. You sort of hear back, fairly brief. Well, if you don't mind me taking some of that money, then I could. I don't really. I'm not welcome back there for a while, though. So it would cause a bit of problems. That's the end of that message.
I'll get back to her tomorrow.
While we're out here, I guess, just after the whole counting is finished, can I start casting Find Familiar so I can get Isaac back?
Okay. 10 minutes there, or it's an hour, I don't remember.
It's an hour for me.
Oh, okay. Okay, oops. I'm just gonna double check, make sure I got the number of gold right. What is Isaac coming back as now?
An owl.
Nice. Owl form again.
Yeah.
All right, as you summon Isaac, the source of fire, the only one currently in the lair, from it, a big gout of fire as your fiendish familiar sort of flies up and perches back on your shoulder. Very familiar sensation.
I'm gonna show him our gold pile. Just be like, look. I think this is like the most money Zero's ever seen in their fucking life.
Yeah, like you could totally Scrooge McDuck it right now if you wanted to.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, in your head as you summon Isaac, you start just looking over the gold. Shit.
Oh. No, never mind.
What's up?
Nice work today.
Were we
gang.
gonna ring the Atneys?
Yeah, we can, so we can all get a bag of holding and stuff.
Can Jana's gonna ask the game before this, just because there's a lot of money. I don't think this would be missed. Jana would like to give 100 gold to Orville at the shop.
Oh wow, a whole 100 gold.
Yeah, all deducted.
Jana, I don't think we can do that. We'd never recover from our losses.
That's like life changing for him, though. You know, like that's.
Yeah.
We're literally Jeff Bezos right now. If like this means nothing to us, but it would change someone's entire goddamn life.
Frankly, for all the bullshit the Atneys put up with us,
Yeah.
wouldn't even be opposed to giving them 200.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Let's ring the bell. Move that bus.
Okay. As you ring the bell, you find yourself into the well-lit wooden interior, nice, warm, temperature-controlled magical pocket dimension, the Atneys Emporium. It is currently like the traveling. Oh, it's actually like nighttime. Actually,
I'm
you
back.
guys have been there for a while.
Yeah, it's like 8 p.m. right now.
Yeah, it's like 8 p.m. Yeah, it is 8 p.m. actually. Yeah, you kind of nice. You do just still find Orville there. The Atney nowhere to be seen. In his nice tuxedo with a bow tie, the white gloves, blue frog boy. Sort of walks. You enter. Welcome to Theopon Rupol's Emporium for Potions and Portents. I see you are not deceased after your dragon fight. I assume you've had.
Yep,
Yeah.
can call us dragon slayers now. That's what we are.
Very well. I believe the masters do pay quite well for dragon parts. If you would be so kind to dissect them from the carcass.
We repurposed it for something else.
Very well. Always be good to be resourceful in the field, I've heard. So, what can I, a humble servant of the Agnes, do for you today?
Oh my god, where do we even begin? Oh my Guina! How? I don't know. Zero. Why don't you take the lead on this one?
Okay. How many bags of holding do you have available for us today, Orville?
I believe we currently have 2. The pocket dimension production can be quite slow without the required materials, which I believe Quincy is on the way to get currently, but 2 on hand.
Okay. Simon, realistically, how much of this gold could a bag of holding actually hold?
Let me double check.
Like, if we did split it 4 ways, I already did the math, like around 23,000 each. Would a bag of holding be enough for one person's cut?
Jesus. I would say they can hold up to 500 pounds and not exceed a volume of 664 cubic feet, which the gold should encompass that, I believe. The weight, it would probably not one bag of holding at the very least. You could probably get away with 2 barely to fit just about everything.
No, not for like the whole, like have it just
Like if each person got
quarter.
their bag of holding, so when we split
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're each looking at like 23,000 each.
Yeah, that would fill up most, or at least a good portion of the bag of holding. If you want to fill that up with like coins, the silver coins are the issue. Yeah, if it was just all gold, it wouldn't be as bad. Yeah, it's the 100,000 silver coins that weighs a lot is the problem.
Why don't we just use the silver to pay for our items then?
Yeah, we can
That's
start
what I
with
was
that.
thinking.
What was I gonna say? How what's the smaller bag of holding?
And that is the handy haversack. It is a more portable, less duffely bag of holding, if you will.
How much of the 23,000 will that one hold?
Less. It has 2 side pouches, which can hold up to 20 pounds of material, and it cannot exceed a volume of 2 cubic feet. There is the larger central part of the bag, which can hold 8 cubic feet, or 80 pounds of material. More of a traveling toolkit as opposed to a hoard hauler.
Okay. I will turn to the gang and see what they say. There's only 2 bags of holding currently.
How much do they cost?
2,000?
It'd be 2,500 gold pieces each.
So 5,000 gold. You know, I don't think we're going to have any problems buying both of them.
That's fine, but who gets them?
Well, Chris already has one, so it's between us 3 then. You want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Alright.
I would say
in that
the
case-
other. I guess it doesn't matter in the long run because whoever doesn't get a bag, they're gonna need help carrying their money anyways. And so if they could share with somebody, that will have to be the solution until we get a third one.
I guess there's no D3, so let's just roll a D4 and whoever wins gets or moves on.
A D3 is like a D6 divided by 2.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna volunteer out of it because I feel like whoever has the bag of holding on them is going to have a lot of money on them, and my perception is very, very bad if I get pickpocketed. So I'm gonna let both of you guys take the first bags, and then I'll just have to put my money in someone's bag if that's okay. Because this is literally just I have a backpack, a single backpack.
I guess that's fine.
And then I guess we can. I guess I'll speak to Orville. Is there any way we can like prepay for another bag of holding, and you can let us know when it's available?
I suppose I can ask the Masters Atney to focus their efforts on the creation of a tertiary bag of holding.
So I guess we will get the 2 bags of holding and then pay for the third one in advance, and you can just give us a ring when it's available.
It will be 7,500 gold pieces.
I can't believe it. 3 weeks ago, I would have been crying my eyes out at a price like that.
That's
It feels like nothing now.
All right. You said 70. I have it in gold right here. I'll just do the math.
Yeah, you can get rid of 75,000 silver if you really wanted to.
I see no reason not to. That's a lot. I mean, we can just basically get rid of the majority of the silver.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Leaves a lot of space.
that's 7,500 in silver.
Be 750 or no 75k.
Okay.
We're getting rid of like 75% of it because there's 100.
Yeah, let me subtract that really quick.
Yeah, you would have 25,350 left.
Okay.
Which at that point, yeah, you could probably fit like most of the horde if you really wanted to into one bag of holding. I know you're not going to do that, but like, yeah, you theoretically could.
Okay, I will, I guess. I'm gonna ask Riley or Dana to come outside and help me bring the money inside. Did we even bring it? It's like a barrel full of money, right?
Oh, for Orville?
Yeah, well, not just that. We owe 75,000 silver.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this process started then. Oh boy.
I guess we'll tell Orville that we're gonna bring in the money, and I guess we'll go outside and start shoveling it in.
Okay. As you all leave, and he looks very confused, you just come back with like armfuls of silver. And then like after like all of you brought like one, and like you guys start walking out, he sort of stops you. Like, pardon me, are you going to be paying the 7,500 gold in silver?
Is there a problem with that?
You're basically paying for like a brand new Ferrari with like $20 bills.
Yeah.
It cuts down on space for us.
This is true.
Can we go ahead and just slide Orville that money right now?
Yeah. He just goes, I will wait patiently for your shoveling.
How
Let's
much?
get on it, gang.
Jana or Josie, how much were we gonna pay him? Like just for Orville?
Yeah, 200 gold. I'll also be like, remember that super salad you had where we like popped in here for a second and like free fall? You're a really solid dude, Orville. Here's a life-changing amount of money.
That's such a slap in the face.
It's 200 gold.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm like, if anyone deserves this, you know?
Okay. As you sort of hand Orville the sack of gold, he sort of just looks at it. Is this a donation to the Atneys?
This is to you, bud.
To me?
You are like the front line worker to deal with us.
Yeah, you're like the face of the company, dog.
There would be no Atneys without you.
Well, I do appreciate the gesture, but I do not have a real purpose for currency. I'm provided with all that I need and more within the confines of this fine chamber.
Do you have no like family or loved ones?
I thought we got his tragic backstory, like how the Atneys saved him or something.
Oh, that's right. Have you made no
I mean-
friends along the way?
Well, I have the Masters Atney.
I mean, don't you get a vacation ever?
Is there like a charity?
Come on,
like...
Zero. You saw what they did with Quincy. Orville, just take it as having a bit of personal wealth then.
But I
Yeah,
have
maybe-
no need of personal wealth.
There may come a time where you will.
Yeah, or what if you have kids and you want to leave them something? They might need money.
There are many, many scenarios in which money will be a very useful resource you have.
Go,
Both of you make persuasion checks.
go invest in some small businesses.
Persuasion?
Oh,
Ah, fuck.
Three of you invest in persuasion. Do persuasion checks.
Invest in persuasion.
Invest in persuasion checks.
I should have. I don't have proficiency.
Okay. He sort of just takes the money and just goes, well, if I have need of gold at some point, perhaps it is better to have some than none. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's continue
All right.
shoveling silver.
Let's get shoveling.
Yes, let's get shoveling.
Brendan, still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Okay. Yeah, about like 10 minutes of shoveling passed. Like it doesn't take too long with all four of you helping and like being giant fucking handfuls of silver, like hundreds at a time. And like you leave a huge pile in the middle of fucking but you could coat the floor with coins if you really wanted to, most of this interior. He sort of just looks at it and goes, my, well, I suppose you have access to the Dragon's Hoard now, so this does make sense.
What gave it away?
That's- This isn't even a tiny fraction of it yet, my friend. There's so much more.
I'll be happy to assist you in spending it at the Emporium. This calls for one of the inventions of the lizard that I don't believe I've had to use yet. Interesting. He sort of goes, Reptile, bring out Coinstar. You see the Yabedi sort of go, Coinstar, and then he just you-
Coins.
yeah, and you see this like almost like vending machine looking thing. So it just walk out with like big stumpy legs and like have like two like wacky flailing like tube arms and start sucking up all the gold.
I can't believe it. Your Betty has Coinstar for cheese. Oh my god.
You bet he is. Snoop Dogg.
When is 8 a.m.? Okay.
It's 8 p.m. right now.
Yeah, like a big metal box with like a star on it with like each one of the coins, like the main coins, like silver, copper, and gold. Just walks out, starts sucking up all of the coins, and then after once it's done sucking them all, it sort of sits there. You can see like a weird like slot machine screen show up, and it starts like rolling through a bunch of numbers, and it says 75,000 silver. And once it says that, Orville sort of goes, well, 75,000 silver on the dot. Well, I shall get to your 2 bags of holding, one to be made as soon as possible, I suppose, and we will ring the bell once that order is ready.
Sick.
Ill
Orville-
indeed.
Orville, one more thing. I don't know if I should say this out loud or not.
Write
I'm
it on a
going to
piece of
cast-
paper. Do what you're gonna do.
I-
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm gonna cast message and tell Orville. I apologize for having to do this, but I wanted to ask a question in private. Do you guys have any amulets of protection available?
I believe. Are you casting a message?
Yeah, I cast message.
He just goes, Yes, I believe we do. We have 3 on hand.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna also cast message on Riley and Jana like separately and just tell them the same message of should we get items to help us avoid being scryed on now that the mages have been we've confirmed they're watching us.
How
Are
much
they
do they
gonna-
cost?
Are they gonna realize that like they can't scry? You know, like is this gonna cause alarm?
It might, but there's still I don't know. I guess we still need to go in the mansion and talk a lot about what's gonna happen from here on out because there was I don't know if Josie, if you saw the discussion we'd had in Maine, me and Bowen talked about it briefly, and I know I'll also have to talk about it in character anyway, but we talked about getting the amulets and then using them at a certain time so we could avoid being scryed on when like the time is right when generally like I can talk more about it when we get to the mansion I guess in character but it's we're not going to put them on just yet.
Okay.
There's a couple things I want to mention, like that we might want to get, but I'm not sure if I should talk about in character or just like player planning and that sort of thing.
I mean, I think we can go back in the mansion in a second and talk about everything that we need to talk about, and if anything, we just come back to the Adneys if you need to buy something else.
Yeah. I think we're just getting the bag of holdings now to get
Yep.
the money to then spend, like, you know?
Yeah. What did Riley say when I asked him?
I said, how much do they cost?
Gonna speak out loud, just say, wait, I wouldn't know how much they cost. I'm gonna ask Orville and I'll ask him out loud. How much do they cost?
The objects in question are 800 gold pieces per thing.
That's it? Throw them down. Let's go get shoveling.
Yeah, let's we're gonna go ahead and get all 3 Orville, if that's alright. If you could bag it up for us and just bring
Gift
it out
wrap
when
'em,
it's
please.
sealed. Yeah, please give it out.
I believe we have something to conceal. Paper bag, bottle 40 of ounce.
Wait, is he asking if we have something to conceal?
We have things on hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay, as you shovel in, are you using silver or gold? Just
What do you think?
Let's make it easier on him. Use gold.
Okay, that's fair. So that's 2,400 GP total, right?
Yeah, 24.
yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and subtract that from the total here.
I have a distinct feeling this a bunch of money is going to be a mistake giving you guys.
Yeah.
It's almost 100,000 gold.
We kill the dragon.
You did.
You
Fucking
earned
earned
it.
it.
It makes sense thematically.
Okay.
Okay.
Our plan still isn't ineffable. It's only 3 instead of 4.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Okay. As yep, you shovel in the gold. He counted himself this time. You can see he has like sticky fingers and he's sort of just like thumbing them through like in neat piles almost. And he counts. 2,400 gold on the dot. I've taken the liberty to gift wrap your objects. As he hands like 3 like neatly tied like cloth bags, like separated, 3 bags each, with like a very like fancy ribbon, like tying them, like a light blue ribbon.
Mhm. Okay.
Excellent craftsmanship.
Thank you, Orville. Beautiful.
I like to think the gift wrapping, which seldom adventurers request, is a hobby of mine.
Aw.
Objects possessed, you have your bags of holding. Is there anything else you wish to purchase with the generosity of another reptile?
What's you got?
There is a couple things I would like
What's up, Chris?
that I could maybe if you have them. Do you have a scroll of non-detection?
Let me thumb through my catalog. He pulls out a smartphone and starts searching through his apps. Third level spell. I do believe we have a few on hand. Would you like to purchase one, perhaps with the prerequisite amount of ink to scribe into your spellbook?
Yep, I'll purchase that with some ink and paper.
Very well. Would you like some extra ink and paper, or just enough to scribe in the new spell?
Yeah, I'll get 3 things of ink and paper.
Very well. So enough, just enough for the spell then.
Yep.
Okay. Non-detection, third level. This will cost you 600 gold pieces.
Okay.
For 600 gold pieces for the scroll, 750 altogether with the ink and paper included, needed to scribe it into your book.
Okay, sounds good.
Where is that money going to come from? Like, is Chris pulling out money, or is he going to go back and shuffle money just so I can take it out of the?
No, that was the stuff I put in my bag of holding.
Oh.
Okay. As you pull out some money from your personal funds, he hands you a scroll, bound together, wax seal, red ribbon. Classic Club Fantasy scroll looking thing. Now, is there
Thank
anything
you.
else I can do for you today?
At the moment, I think I'm all right.
I'm limited by my imagination. I don't know what Riley could possibly want.
Yeah, I think that's it for me too.
Very well. Thank you for the gift. I will put it aside in my own personal belongings to see if any day I will have a use for it. May I make a request?
What's up?
May I... He sort of looks down at the ground a little bit sheepishly. You have been... All of you have been... uncharacteristically of adventurers kind to me. And it would honor me greatly if I could call you my friends.
My eyes well up a little bit.
Orville, I'll pat him on the back. It'd be our pleasure.
You pat him on the back?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to be an asshole, make you roll for his poison skin, but yes. He's clothed, he's fine.
Jan, I would like to pull out another friendship bracelet from her backpack and give it to Orville.
Okay, what's it look like? Is
What's
it
it like
made
a-
out of fucking Victoria's underwear?
I'm gonna assume like Jana has enough stuff in her bag where it's like, you know, she's probably has like loose yarn when clothes, you know, like ripping stuff. Just scrap fabric. She just makes these on the road when we're traveling.
Okay. Yeah, as you pull out a comparatively to the high class look and feel of Orville, despite being like a growing little tiny frog man, white gloves. You pull out this like, in comparison, like raggedy, very like patchwork, like friendship bracelet with like little like dried flowers like tied into it, yarn scrap, like little shiny pebbles you found on the road. And you sort of just hand it to him. He takes it. Like you sort of see like a slight smile creep across the corners of his face as he sort of takes like one of his like lapel pins and like sort of pins it onto his chest.
I'm gonna cry.
Joanna salutes him.
Pride. I didn't know you were in the army. I will wear it with pride.
Janice holds her up like one to show that they're matching.
Well, perhaps if you look at it, you will remember to visit the Emporium every so often.
Damn, sucked into advertising.
Grind never stops.
Riley respects it.
Yeah.
You can see, like, even as he's giving his advertising spiel, he has like a fairly big smile on his face.
Aw. That's why we like Orville.
But I wish you luck and safety in your coming adventures.
Thank you very much.
Do drop by and tell me of them sometime.
Will
I'll
do.
put on a cup of tea.
I'm gonna give him a firm fist bump.
Okay. As you hold out his hand, he sort of like holds out to like shake your hand as he's used to, but then like he sort of just like adjusts his fist until his knuckles, his very soft, froggy knuckles, like make contact with yours.
Excellent.
Word. Okay. As you all say your goodbyes to Orville, beaming a little bit more than usual at the end of the day, you all exit out into the relatively shitty conditions of the lair. It's now been almost completely excavated. Like the ice has been pushed up or melted to the sides. Just ragged, empty containers, a desiccated ship, and a coralling, like shark carcass. Right. As you sit there, you see there, your dragon house now is sort of just still running around in circles. You can see that he's getting the hang of the body, and he's doing like more acrobatic things. Like he's sort of doing like quick turns on like one leg, and he's flying around trying to do like testing out like twisting and turning and stuff like that in the air. He's got a good hang of it. You think?
Breaking it in pretty well there, big guy.
Yes, I believe I do quite like this new body. Thank you for giving me a chance to be of more use than a simple house servant.
Riley will turn to the group. Do you guys have any problem with me naming him?
No, it's fine.
Alright. I will cast Sending to him. I came up with a cool name for you. Your name is Polaris, but for now we'll refer to you as Dragon for safety reasons.
Okay, you cast Sending as like the in your head. You see the dragon sort of look like visibly confused as he's sort of just looking around, seeing where the source of the voice is coming from, because it's inside of his head, and he sort of looks at you, who's not speaking.
Riley will just tap his head.
As he's okay, he sort of just like looks back at you. You can even though you know he's pretty much subservient at this point, it's still very intimidating looking at a building-sized dragon bearing down on you with a house on its back. And as he gets real close, you can see you can feel the cold from his breath. You can hear in your brain just go, "What exactly is this danger?"
Riley will send again. We're being spied on by a rather prominent political figure in a pretty authoritarian northern town. Just playing it safe for now.
You can see a slight nod to the dragon's head, and you hear back, "Let me know if I can be of some assistance, then. I think I can put on a convincing ruse as a dragon, if need be."
Riley will give a thumbs up, if need be. He'll say that out loud.
Okay. Sure. Everyone make perception checks. Sure.
Sure.
I can't reliable tell that now, can you?
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Man, even Chris is wired today.
Chris hasn't rolled low today at this point, except he's also blown himself up several times. But every single time he's rolled high.
I rolled low on the D100.
You did, and because of that, I'm gonna find it infinitely hilarious that you threw that item you had just found. That's never not gonna be funny to me. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much all of you, Zero, you're sort of just like still trying to sort through the coins, trying to figure out the logistics of carrying everything. The rest of you notice you guys begin to hear footsteps from where you came from, past the tunnel, 100 foot. It's very faint, just due to the distances involved. It's multiple footsteps too. I'd say Riley and Chris, you can hear like faint whispers, just echoing down towards where you are. You're not sure exactly how far they are, but you just hear voices like, sort of just going, "I don't really think we should be here." You hear another gruffer voice just go, "Quit whining. You just don't see where they're going. If they're still there, if they're dead, you don't need to fight a dragon." You hear like a even deeper voice back, just go like, "Quiet, lest the dragon find us first."
Riley will turn to the group. Hey guys, do you want to follow the Frostwalkers into thinking we're dead?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Yes.
I think it'd be a really funny prank.
Prank.
Hey, Polaris. If need be is right now.
Don't kill them, though.
Yeah, don't kill them though. Just scare them off.
As you command. As you can see that he sort of arches his neck up and sort of stands straighter, like almost wriggly, and just sort of flares out his wings, creating this huge wind pressure. And as he does, you can see him sort of just like stomp as loud as he can, like into the ground, like digging his hands into like some of the elements of the ice still there, and sort of just begin to climb up the tunnel. As you can't hear the voices anymore, but like you can just hear his footsteps just slowly disappearing through the tunnel.
Oh, that's terrifying. I would shit myself. That's so scary.
Yeah, as he reaches the top, you can hear very loud, just in a very deep, very familiar, threatening voice. "Well, now, more thieves to add to my stomach. How considerate of you." If you hear the very telltale sign of the breath attack that he's been using, just like this very like high pressurized blast of wind, you can hear like elements of just ice like spikes hitting the ground and shattering, and you just hear the footsteps begin following further into the up the tunnel before you don't really hear them anymore.
I'll cast sending to him. Alright, you can come back now.
You hear back after about 20 seconds. "They have retreated out. There is a new tunnel here. As you wish, I will return."
Did he say there is a new tunnel here?
They retreated out of the tunnel, let's say that.
Okay.
I wonder if they found the tunnel that the Yetis left out of. I'm gonna cast message and just tell Riley, keep in mind we still might be being scryed on though, so we can't. I don't know. We can't hide for too long in here.
Oh, Riley's intention was never to hide. It was just to have some fun. To play some japes and make sure that the Frostwalkers aren't in danger.
Yeah, you can.
If we are being scryed on, then I'm sure that the Arbiter and his men know that the place is safe enough and the Frostwalkers know where to go. We have more missions to carry out.
Let's get scooping this money, I guess, into the bags.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll take another 7 hours.
No, it'd be easier. So you just like open up the thing and just start shoveling in already organized money. I'll say like there's a lot of money still left to go, so maybe like 20-30 minutes or so. Yeah, you spent the better part of a day just this probably would have been a several day thing had you not had the help of the dragon. Yeah, just infinite clawing pretty much. But yeah, you can shovel in as much money as you would like. You can pretty much fit with the reducing the big silver pile by 75%. It's pretty huge in terms of space saving and weight saving. Yeah, you can probably fill one like to the brim of just coin, silver, and gold, and then another, like you can put the rest that fills it a little bit into another bag of holding.
I'll take the smaller one. I have no need. Well, I don't believe I have this much need for this much money.
Are we gonna split it up 4 ways for now, just to keep it divided nicely for, the Grand Arbiter?
Well, we didn't take everything. We only took what was here. There's more.
What do you mean? there's
Like,
more?
way more.
Like all the stuff we didn't spend time excavating. We're just gonna tell the king, hey, the rest, this other 75% is down here.
Wait, there's more to excavate?
Yeah.
Yeah, we only did this plus the chests.
No?
What do you mean,
So-
no?
Oh, you
I said
calculated
that's it.
everything?
Yeah, I said
Oh.
for brevity over the course of like an hour or two, like with spells and the dragon digging through everything, you managed to excavate everything.
Oh, I thought. Okay, I didn't
I
realize.
didn't catch
I
that.
thought we had only done this part.
No. This is everything.
Oh, if this is everything, then I guess we've already spent our share then.
Yep, so let's just divide the rest of it into 4s just for travel efficiency. I'm just gonna lock eyes with Riley. Like, I'm not gonna make any expression, but just kind of hope that he picks up that that's what we're doing.
Riley will wink back and say, "That's smart, Zero. That way we know where our 25% rest."
Let me see. I have a couple numbers in here that are vague, because the number that they were like equated to was like, oh, around this much or about this much. I'm trying to get an exact amount. With the 3, with all those platinum pieces, how much gold makes a platinum?
10.
10? Okay, so I'll just do.
Yeah, just add a number. Just add a 0 to the end of the number. You good?
Alright. Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna do some math really quick, and I'll put everything to. I'll let everyone know how much we're splitting it up by. Sorry. What about silver? How much gold is in a silver? Or how many silver go into a gold?
10.
Okay.
Yep. So you can remove a 0 from the number,
Yep.
and yeah, that'll be the gold worth. I suck at math, so I wanted to make it as easy on myself as I could.
Okay. Give me a second. I'll have the number here in a second. Sorry, I keep fucking up.
What's going on?
Nothing, my finger slipped is fine.
Oh, okay. I haven't changed your guys' names in a while. Damn.
Oh, I changed mine today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that means for each person, we're splitting it up to 20,940 each.
How much?
20,940. I can write it in the chat.
Damn.
20,940, which puts me over 21k. 40, that'll put me at 21,1. Wait, 20,900. Okay, no, that's different. I was at 274. Or was I at 74? I was at 74. Yeah, that just barely puts me over 21. Okay, 21,074. 074? 0. I can't fucking do math, man. Man, where's my fucking calculator at?
I was gonna say I equated all of this to GP worth. Would you guys, before I go ahead and just give the like divide the smaller increments by 4, so I can give you like a total to put in your silver, platinum, and gold? Because technically we haven't turned
Let's
this all
just-
into gold yet.
Let's just keep it at GP.
Yeah.
That's
for
basically,
now.
yeah. 20. The only logistics that mattered was shoveling it all out. 24
Okay.
plus 70.
Wait, is that number for GP?
2114.
Yeah, the number I dropped in Roll20 is the number for total GP.
And technically, like 75% of this belongs to the Arbiter, but we have yet to decide whether we're going to give that yet.
I guess we'll have to talk about it in the mansion. I don't know if you guys want to do that this session, because
Yeah, I'm
we've
for
already been going for like 3.5 hours. But or if you want to wait till next time. I just thought it should be like a quick conversation. I think and then we can plan over the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
I guess it's up to what Simon decides.
I'm down with anything. If you guys want to make plans now, we can, or you can discuss, make plans later. It's up to you.
Good to keep going.
Yeah, we can talk about it and finish it up, and then we'll do everything next time.
Like, the session is going to end once you guys leave the cave, pretty much. This is both my thought, but it's up to you if you want to plan over the course of the 3 weeks, or you want to just get the stuff on the board now.
There's a couple conversations I think that still like canonically need to take place about what we're gonna do, so we can get those out of the way, and then we can start brainstorming plans. But we don't have to commit to anything until next session, and then we don't have to leave the cave until next session either.
That sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys gonna go into the thing then?
Before then. Hey, Dragon, do you require sleep? Or food or resources?
I am technically undead, so I don't believe so.
Nifty. Remind me to not use any healing magic on you.
This body seems to not react well to regenerating flesh as normal. I would have to do it myself using excess magic left around. So, healing magic, I don't believe, would have quite the same effect you were hoping for.
I said remind me not to. I already knew all that.
Oh my god.
Harsh.
Yeah.
Bowen knows that.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, Riley would know that too. He partied with an undead. I never casted healing on Deirdre.
She was empowered back by Arcanium, though. Was she?
No, as far as I'm aware. Just a ghost.
Oh. Okay. Well then, sure.
Do you wish to enter your new abode?
I believe so.
Very well. Allow me to welcome you home, masters. As he sort of hunches down, and from either ends on both sides, as he sort of furls in the wings, like the mechanical stairs sort of just unfurl themselves from the top. The house itself, it's made, as far as you can tell, mostly of ice. There's some like elements of like the spare rock around the place that sort of make like accenting around like the doors. You can see like there's some elements of windows, not a whole lot, but a few. And it's sort of like spiral shape that sort of like gradually tapers as it goes further and further up. It actually goes fairly high. Probably about like 30, 40 feet of just like pure like ice building. As these sort of like steps unfurl, beckoning you inside.
Go!
Okay. Okay, as you all climb up these stairs on either side, you can choose which one you want to go to, doesn't really matter. As you all enter, you walk onto like a central foyer area, a little entering, what's it called? Entering room, if you will. It's not huge. It's still fairly wide, probably about like 20 feet or so, 30 feet. It's circular in shape, almost like a disc, and you see in the center of this room there is a like almost like a double helical like spiral staircase that goes up a floor. You can see across from you as you enter the stairs, just an open doorway, the other side of the stairs, on the other side of the dragon. But to your left and right, you see just ice doors. Everything here is made of ice, pretty much just like deep, just blue, white ice. The floor itself you thought would be super slippery. There's like texturing that makes it a little bit rougher so you don't, slip on your ass and die. As you sort of just, you can hear like the rumble in his voice even from the inside. Towards the head is the dining room. There is a grander window from which to view where we are going. To the rear on the first floor is the kitchen area, magically infused. I believe any foods left there will be quite well kept with the errant cold, with some magical fire produced from the stoves, improvised with errant magic still left within the head. It should be serviceable to you. You can see in between each of the doors, there's like these like ice busts, pretty much. You can see one looks like Chris, one looks like Zero, one looks like Jana, and there's a smaller one of Giorgio next to Jana, and one of Riley as well, just sort of ringing this central foyer. Yeah, and there's like you see like there's like on some parts of the wall, like most look like candles or torches or like lanterns. Sorry, they're just like hung onto the walls themselves. They look very similar to like the blue flamed like lanterns you picked up. They're just made almost of ice though, but they also emit a blue flame. This is lighting. Would you like to explore this floor more, or would you like to go up?
go up.
Let's.
Okay.
Oh, we're not too heavy, are we?
Not as heavy as the house. A few 100-pound difference is negligible compared to the few thousand. As you all climb your way upwards, to climb your way upwards, there's like a landing here. The stairs still go upwards another floor, but there's a second floor with like a landing you could just exit off. You see this one has towards the head of the dragon 2 more doors, towards the rear of the dragon 2 more doors, and just one off to the side. These are your bedrooms. They are of minimal decoration. Had to do a bit of arcane finagling to get the beds made of ice to act as serviceable cushions. They are a little bit like snow and will not melt. Should be temperature regulated throughout the whole house. The one door off to each of your rooms is the bathroom. There is a little offshoot that should deposit water from the side. If you wish to take a bath, or take a shower, or if you have to dispose of waste, it should do so without landing on me, even during flight.
That's pretty nifty.
Yeah, this floor is a little bit tighter, smaller. Not by much, but yeah. What would you like to do? Climb up or explore your rooms or bathroom? Well, if you want to take a shit.
We've been working for 8 hours. I think there's a natural conclusion.
To which one?
Well, all of them.
I would like to study the magic room if that's possible. Like the teleportation.
That will reside on the top floor, perfectly reserved for the magical room. As you climb up the stairs, it just ends there, the stairwell, and there's just a single door there. It's very thin, like the actual landing itself is probably 5 feet thick. It's very small, but you can go into the room. And inside is just a 10-foot by 10-foot circular room with the teleportation circle that's been almost it's been painted inside of the ice, it's actually etched inside of the ice. Please make use of this teleportation room. I've taken the liberty to already permanently inscribe the sigils required. Do commit them to memory if you wish to use it.
Yep. I will I'll study it.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a minute. You make a note of the arcane sigils. You think you got a pretty keen grasp of it now. You can, if you can't teleport in a circle or just teleport, you can probably come back here anytime you want.
Sick.
Tubes. Forgive me for the size. It is not as big as it could have possibly been, but given the constraints of a dragon's back, it is the most spacious I could make it.
There is a metaphorical saying that we have down here. To be carried is to have one's effort be recognized as the most important. You are literally carrying and metaphorically carrying us.
It is you, masters, who felled the dragon. I am but a humble servant. Now, shall we away, or would you have more business within the confines of this cave?
Should we get Tim out of here right away, or should we have him on standby?
I think we might have some discussions to have, so.
Before I decide on anything personally, if you guys don't think so, it's
We'll have you on standby for now.
Very well. Give me the word and we will make haste away. You can just feel it plop down again, the dragon.
Does Chris even have Magnificent Mansion available right now? Or did he
I
use that
don't.
spell slot? Okay, yeah.
I used it with the fireball.
Right. So Riley will actually take watch out while we wait for Magnificent Mansion to become a thing again.
Do I wait the whole day, right? Or do I just the rest?
Well, you're an elf. You only need 4 hours.
Oh yeah, I was just making sure, like, when I regain all my spell slots.
Yeah, it's the end of a long rest.
Okay. Then I guess I'll go to sleep in my new room.
Okay. Yeah, you enter the room. It's not a huge room. It's probably like like 15 feet wide in each dimension. Except the roof. The roof's probably like, 7'6". Not the biggest room, but it is nice by comparison. The bed itself is actually fairly spacious. There's room for 2 people if you wanted to. There is a dresser that is made of ice, like everything else in here. There's a small chest if you want to like put some belongings, and there is a key resting on top of it, also made of ice. Yeah, there's like a small, like a little, like a desk with like a chair to it too. The chair has like a cushion that looks like it's made of snow, and the blankets and the pillow also look like they're made of snow. As you sort of sit in the bed, it sort of wobbles like a water bed.
Is it comfy?
It takes some getting used to. It's soft enough for sure. It's better than sleeping on the ground.
I guess I'll
yeah, you like, given the chance, it feels like you're sort of like sinking into it. It's almost too soft.
I guess I'll use that to meditate then.
Okay, as you sort of sit in the bed, being slowly swallowed by it. You do your long rest. What is everyone else doing at this time?
Before I have a small chat with Mr. Dragon Friend, I'm going to how many spell slots do I have left? Okay, yeah. I'll send to Riley's mom, be like, not only did we slay the dragon, we made it our house.
Okay. As you send that, you sort of hear back after about a minute. I made a dragon your house. When are you going to invite your mother to it?
I'll leave it at that for now.
Okay. Okay. Zero Dana, what are you doing?
I guess literally chilling in our ice house.
Yeah, like it's being inside is actually not as cold or colder than any. It's actually slightly warmer inside the house than you would think. You're just testing things, seeing if how the stoves work. There's literal knobs for the stove, like a modern stove. Beds are comfy enough. They're a little bit wobbly. Like you're sloshing around almost. Yeah, the shower is like there's actually an actual like bathtub, like a built-in bathtub, and there's like it all like drains out into like the center where there's just like a little grate. The same with the shower, and there is a toilet if you would like to. Yeah, all magical. The dining room is like there's a single long table, about 12 chairs total. There's a few decorations. So there's like ice statues that look like armor. They're sort of just like stood there. There's a chandelier that dangles above it with about 8 of these like magical blue flames also around it too. And it's overall just like beautifully like etched. There's like a few pillars around the doors as well. Sort of just built in. Not a bad house considering it's on top of a dragon made of ice. Okay, Serum, do anything?
Were you gonna say something, Josie?
No, that's it.
Oh. Okay. How long would it take me to climb up that fucking tunnel we came down? The last one where Kolo dropped with us?
Depends on how good your athletics check is, but probably about like a minute, or actually it's 100 feet. A good few minutes.
Can I want to try to go up and see if I don't know. I want to go check out the Yeti's living conditions.
Okay. Just make an athletics check for me. Oh, yeah, good enough. Yeah, climb up, no issue. Like where the Yetis were.
Yeah, I guess wasn't there like a room that we passed where Kolo went in and he like saw the kids or whatever?
Like top left.
Yeah. About there. I'm just gonna remove dynamic lighting real quick, since the map, you've killed everything here of worth. How do I do that? Okay.
Full map reveal.
Oh. There we go. You guys see everything?
Nope. Yep.
I didn't.
What am I supposed to be seeing?
Oh, top is still unseen.
Oh, okay. That hold on, that makes sense. There we go.
My roll 20 was for them.
How about now?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of just climb up. It looks like just like a fairly large chamber, sort of just carved in. There's just a lot of bodies in here, a lot of old blood that have been frozen over layer after layer. Yeah, Yetis aren't there anymore. Don't see Kolo anywhere.
Can I use Mage Hand to investigate the bodies really quick?
Sure. Just trying to turn them over.
Yeah, just to see if they are. I'm assuming they ate them, right? They're just like picked clean.
There's a couple that are like rotted, with still like some of them with like some bite marks in them. Some of them have been picked clean. They're like skeletonized. A lot of them are just like desiccated, dried from being in like the cold for a long time, and just slightly preserved. I'm not sure how long they've been here.
Mm.
Yeah, there's been like limbs torn off. A couple of them. Some of them are just like half bodies. Some of them are mostly intact with like a one bite taken out of them. Yeah, but you use your mage hand, you can peel them off slowly.
I mean, I was just trying to see. They don't have like stuff on them, do they? Like clothes or anything?
Some of them have like pants, shirts, but like nothing like weapons or items or anything. No.
Okay. I guess I'll come back to the group. I don't want to waste too much time by myself. I think before we leave, though, I kind of want to explore the rest of the caverns and see what was back at that other turn whenever we were talking to Kolo to begin with. We do that next time.
Okay, what you doing now then?
I'll just come back to the group, I guess.
Okay. Okay. As you just come back. All right. Anything else?
I want to climb the dragon like a jungle gym and sit on his head and wait until Chris wakes up.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. As you begin climbing it, he sort of just helps you onto his face. Okay. As you just sit there, he's sort of just trying not to move as much as he can to, not bust your skull. All right. As 4 hours pass, Seeing fairly late in the day at this point. Those of you that need to sleep are getting a little bit drowsy, but pushing on. Chris, you have a long rest.
Yep.
All right, you replenish your spell slots and you get full hit points back.
All right, before Riley re-enters to go into the mansion, he'll ask, "What year do you remember us being active?"
Are you asking the dragon?
Yeah.
I don't think I understand the question.
All right, let me try a different one then. Have you ever been a house before, or have you ever made a house before this one?
No, I have no memories beyond awakening.
Specifically with us?
Yes.
I suppose you wouldn't know anything about the world past then.
I know of my nature. That is all.
Alright, fair enough. Well, time to go get some rest.
Okay. All right, Chris, you're fully rested. What do you want to do?
I'll open up the magnificent mansion.
Okay. As you open up your house within the house, okay, you walk in and it's much warmer in here with your, just like a nicer manner, pretty much. Yeah, you have the weirdest house setup. You know that. You made a dragon into a house with which to make your house in.
Well, we're not getting scryed on in here.
Yeah. Okay, as you all enter and find yourself to the dining room, the 50 spectral merrics begin to just make food. Like a nice 3-course meal, salad, appetizer, everything. Okay, you can discuss at will.
Night Zero, you wanted to talk about our next move.
Right. So first off, where do all of us stand on carrying out the Grand Arbiter's wishes one by one? I want to hear y'all's takes.
I mean, fuck him.
He's an asshole, sure. My intention to keep our end of the deal is merely for our safety. If you can find a way around it where we don't have to follow through with his requests and we get out of it scot-free, or at least relatively unscathed, I'll follow along. However, I do think the smartest play is to just do as he says.
I think that if we do what he says, it may also put us in danger as well.
How so?
If we may lose alliances we've already made, or have been trying to make, such as with the Commission or the Faceless, who may rely on Lipat.
I don't know if Riley ever... Did he talk about that?
Oh,
We'll just say Chris has good intuition. So you knew then.
I wasn't sure if we were in character or not.
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard to tell since you don't put a voice on.
Also, I mean, I think we had kind of guessed ahead of time that they'd be there, and even though Riley confirmed it, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if he's... I can't remember, honestly. I guess he could share that. Right, so what's the move in Lipat then? Do we even go?
I personally have business in Lipat, so I do need to go. But my thing is like, yeah, what Chris said about us already having allies that we may need in the long term versus this one deal with the Grand Arbiter. the items that I bought today from the Atneys are going to help us help prevent us from being scryed on.
Right.
I'll have to get a couple more in the future, but we'll worry about that later.
Zero,
There. Oh, go ahead.
There's-
have you noticed every time who they're scrying on? Is it always you?
I don't think I was able to tell last time. I don't know if it's been. I've only been able to confirm it one time that it was me. There've been who knows how many other times now. But if the three of you wear the amulets, I have a higher chance of catching them scrying on me alone, and I will be the only one that they can do that to. So maybe I can even spend some time in locations that are, maybe a bit harder to tell where we are. Again, I'll worry about that when we get there. My reasoning for doing this was,
I think you said you have a friend in there, right?
Yeah, I literally wrote a Google Doc of list, like a list. I'm just gonna go over everything quickly, in character just to say that I did. But yeah, he's asking us to turn everyone in LiPad in. There's possibility that there's innocent people in LiPad. They're gonna end up in Teague. He doesn't have anywhere to put them up. They're just going to be in Teague and be prisoners or end up like Munsto and all of those guys who just live like this and are under his order, right? Yeah, we have several alliances with people in LiPad who may no longer offer us help when they've helped us. I say they, it's been the Faceless. They've helped us in a pinch every time we've needed. I don't think that's worth giving up right now. The Rexon family is currently helping Salith bring resources to Fintu. I cannot jeopardize that. That's my family and everyone I know. That's my hometown. That's probably what a good portion of my money is going to go towards, honestly, is helping her get resources to them. They cut off our supply from the city, so people's lives are in danger right now. I don't feel like jeopardizing that either. Next reason, he's directly affiliated with Pure Soul Dogma, who have been wreaking havoc in Sant for longer than I've been alive. They kill tieflings for no reason. Like, that's why I was attacked by one, I think, when we were back in Imus.
Oh, is that why that happened?
Yeah,
but the Pure Soul Dogma owes us a favor now.
I don't think they will after this. That's another thing, is that I realized that Niles,
Yeah, Niles Ort.
that favor that he gave us has his name on it. Once we sever ties with, once we fuck over the Grand Arbiter, I don't think we should use that anymore, or else it's going to get him in trouble now that they know that we're wanted. Because I can guarantee you, if the Grand Arbiter sends anyone after us, it's going to be them, because they're going after Salith, that they're just like a global force. But they have committed like mass genocide in Sant, including like torturing babies and children and women, like pregnant women, and like experimenting on them and shit. I'm not down with that. Let me see. They're also looking for Salith. I'm not going to turn her in. Yeah, if for some reason the Rexon family is like fucked up and evil, we can wipe them out ourselves. I don't know what we'll do past that, but there's no like government in LivePat, you know what I mean? Like, we could take care of them if they're a problem ourselves, but I don't think we should full on turn them over to the Grand Arbiter. And again, we have these amulets now to protect us from getting scryed on. Once we all have one, we'll be off the grid and he can't find us, and we'll be able to hide like that for a little while. And I'm not afraid of him. It's just that, yeah, we're going to sever ties with anyone at Pure Soul Dogma, which I personally didn't care about to begin with. It's the end of my TED Talk. Thank you.
So who do we keep allied with us in this scenario? We still have the Commission. We still have the Faceless.
We still have Claudine, because I would imagine if all of LiPat gets cleaned out, her dad's going to go to Teague too.
And the rest of the Four Corners.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of,
Also,
should we go get Merrick right away then? We have a scrying orb. We can find out exactly where he is.
That's what I was thinking. We should probably do it quickly if the Frostwalkers are I don't know what means they have to communicate with Grand Arbiter or his mages or anyone back in Teak, but if they warn them that we died and then they scry on us and they see that we're still alive, they're going to know that we're lying. Something is going to be up, and they might just execute him then and there. So I think, yes, it's in our best interest to rest up quickly in the Magnificent Mansion. They won't be able to scry on us here. Attune to these amulets, and we can go out at the next nightfall available, when hopefully every one of them would be asleep like the mages, and they would probably assume that we're going to be in the Magnificent Mansion anyways, so they won't freak out when we go off the grid, and we can take the dragon to Teak and just scoop Merrick up. Like you said, like we have the scrying orb now. We have Dream that you can cast. I think there's some information we could probably benefit getting from him to just kind of get an idea of what the situation is with the guard presence around him and where he sleeps, where to find him, where to meet up with him. But I think we should do that sooner than later because, yeah, the Frostwalkers just left. They think we're dead. If they get to Teague before we do, then I think the Grand Arbiter's just going to kill Merrick.
Sending to Merrick, hey, you still alive? We killed the dragon.
Oh my god.
Roll the
Yep, because there's like a 5% chance to not work right.
Hmm.
Ah, fuck, where's my D100? Ah. I think I'm fine.
You said you still alive?
Yeah. We killed the dragon. Send a message.
So I just send that. About 10 seconds pass. For now.
Are we for sure doing this? Are we gonna go get him?
I have an idea. Well, a couple
What's up?
that may help us get off the grid.
What's
And
it?
I sort of, went and got something today that might help with that. But there's a few spells that I recall that may help with being off the grid. One of them being non-detection, which I got today. But there are several which can hide an area from being scryed on, or even a person.
For instance, a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine that if the area surrounded by the dragon is in non-detection range, then we would be protected from that by proxy of being inside.
Or if we're going to get Merrick, I can make an area where Merrick is undetected, so they cannot see us grab him.
But while we're here, I'm gonna hand Chris, Riley, and Jenna the amulets that they can wear.
And we have to attune to these, right?
Yeah, I think it takes around 30 minutes to attune to them. I would say don't do it just yet. Let's do it like the night that we're going out to do the job, which is pretty soon. Yeah, but we're not 100% sure when yet. We just know it'll be at nighttime. So just before we head out, put it on in case they do happen to scry on us at nighttime. Hopefully they will just assume we're sleeping. And we don't have to keep these on forever. Probably just maybe a few weeks until we can get far enough away. And I don't know.
And
I'm gonna keep mine on.
Chris's non-detection gambit is actually very good. Once we have Merrick, they won't know that we have him.
Yeah.
Or at least where we brought him to.
Yeah.
And with a mobile house, good luck ever finding us. So, should I tell Merrick that he should get ready to be picked up?
I would say no. I think I showed I had dropped that Google Doc in the server. That we don't have to go with my plan like 100%. This was my idea. I think there's a few different questions we need to ask him and get the details on before we jump and go try to find him, because
we have a scrying orb. We know where he
but
is.
we have never been to Teague before. We were there for like 5 minutes and we don't know what the layout is. If we saw a corner of a building, we're not going to know where he is.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But we can fly.
That's true too, but I think if we pick a location known to us for him to meet us at, like maybe around the exit somewhere, he can at least run to us and we can meet him better rather than going to find him in the city. That's going to raise way more attention when they see a dragon flying around.
We're not going to bring the dragon though.
Why wouldn't we?
We could teleport to Teague, grab him, teleportation circle back. Easy.
Teleportation circle takes 10 minutes, though.
Does it?
I thought it did.
How long does it last?
I mean, I think you have to use it once it's ready. I could
Instantly.
be wrong. I thought that,
It lasts like 6 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
but it's a ritual though. You have to take a while to cast it.
I think you like
It
you have
uses
to-
like your 5th level spell slot, right?
drawing it is casting it, so however long it takes to do that, which is hold on. Technically casting time is 1 minute, yeah, so it takes me 1 minute to draw it, and then it lasts 6 seconds, which is 1 round.
Oh, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
So
That's why originally I was like, we should take the dragon with us, use the dragon as a distraction while Merrick makes a run for it, because the guards are going to see a dragon and freak out over that. I think more than this guy doing nothing, walking around. Merrick can make a run for it, and maybe Chris can be down there on the ground and teleport from the ground, like dimension door or whatever, from the ground with Merrick to the house, and then we can book it. We don't need, like, none of us even need to get on the ground.
resource-wise, and that's definitely the smarter play. Not very stealthy though. And it also means that the Grand Arbiter will know exactly what we're doing.
I mean, at that point, the jig's up. If we wanted to fake our death, we'd have to find a much, much, much stealthier way to get Merrick out. But the guards are following him. We don't know if they're Frostwalkers or just regular guards, but they're keeping an eye on him directly. If he goes missing and we go missing, the jig is going to be up anyway.
Then shouldn't we head back to Teague right now?
Yeah, as soon as possible, as soon as all of our resources are collected. I think going at night is the best move, because I think at least some of the mages will be asleep. I can't guarantee it, but I think it's worth effort. And if they do happen to scry on us and they can't scry on us, they might just assume that we're sleeping.
It'll take a few days to get there, right? This dragon's speed is slower with us on its back.
Will that take days to get back with the dragon? I figured it would take like a couple hours, if that.
No, it'll take days. It's like across the country, pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Can I mention a couple of spells, because I don't want to metagame too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if like Chris would know of them, like, because like technically I can go and buy a scroll, but like I don't know if he knows like every spell, like of every spell. That like, is that a thing?
Chris is a pretty studied mage.
Yeah, if you're a wizard, just make an Arcana check
Okay.
for posterity. Is that a word? Yeah, like generally, if it's on your wizard stuff and like you can cast it, you'll have some familiarity with it at least.
Okay.
Yeah, like you know of spells. Like if they're being cast against you, you may not be able to pick it up from like pick it up exactly what's going on. Because some spell decks overlap, but you know of spells that do certain things. Yeah.
Wait a second! I just came up with a brilliant idea, Chris. You could dream to Pratchell. You could send him the sigil for a teleportation circle, bring him here, yeah? And then we could have 2 teleporters.
Well, there's an idea. Like I have an idea of a spell. There's the private sanctum that I could cast, which gives a certain amount of area, about like 100 feet of ability to be protected from like divination spells and that sort of thing. And there's also a higher level spell, which is going to cost more to cast and do, which is Sequester, which would probably cost a lot, but it would protect something from being scryed on and that sort of thing kind of indefinitely, but it would like there are conditions to like you know, dispel the spell. So I'm not sure if we would want to use that on ourselves, Merrick, or if even the dragon could do it.
What are the
Sequester
conditions
the
of the
dragon.
spells?
Well, it's the private sanctum one, and then the sequester one. If you guys want to look those up, I don't know.
I knew I should have given
almost
Sequester a
as-
little bit more thought. I don't know. We have a lot of options.
If anything, now that we've brought up the conversation in game, we can end here, and then over the next few weeks until the next session, we, the players, can talk about it and really nail something out, and then we can just say canonically, yeah, we figured it out, and we could act immediately rather than spending any more time
Yeah,
here and then like wasting daylight.
I think that's a good plan.
Because now that we know kind of what we have at our disposal, and the conversation did start canonically, we can just say that this is the conversation we have throughout the next few weeks.
Right.
Okay. All right. As you discuss what your next move is going to be within the confines of your new dragon home, Gold had goods bought. Plan the next leg of your journey, whether that's a breakout or break in. All right. Neato mus squito. That the next be everybody.
Yep.